Top of the morning, traders. And happy Tuesday, March 3rd. And welcome to the most value packed live trading show, where we live trade, break down charts, cover high impact events, and talk trader mindset. Hope everyone had a great day yesterday and is ready to kick off another opportunity filled day. Same scenario as yesterday. All the indexes are looking to gap down. This gap down is a little bigger than yesterday's gap down. So the $1 million question becomes, does the same scenario repeat, or do we continue to sell off after this gap down? So SPY is looking to open up just below that 675 or near that 675. The Qs are trading below 600. They're looking to open up near that 595 territory, and the Dow's looking to open up in that 480 territory. Primary thing I'm going to focus on the VIX, of course, is the 26, 27, 25. Ideally, I want to keep my entries as close as possible to those psychological levels. Okay, we're going to be open in a couple of seconds here. Good morning, everyone on YouTube. Good morning, CT. Good morning, Structure. Good morning. Make sure to get the likes up. 60 likes, first hour, we'll do the giveaway. 100 likes is the goal. Every 50 likes, we'll do the giveaway. So make sure to smash the like button and get the likes up. Okay, we're officially open here. 674, 674.87 is the official open, or 85, 674.85. Okay, we're officially open. Good morning. Good morning. Let's take this off. Massive gap down. I believe Sancho had the puts. All right, Sancho's on an absolute tear. All right. Okay, let this candle close out. Okay, right off the open, we're seeing the Qs push into the upside. Okay, so this is what you call on the daily time frame a bull trap. So there's a lot of bulls that are trapped. A lot of bulls that are trapped. All right, so that's the open. BOG right here. If we somehow, somewhere end up filling this gap, all right, this is as bullish as can be. We have some significant levels to get over. Look at the size of that gap. Okay, so the work is cut out for the bulls. So first, cohort of traders on the clock, of course. Orb Army, 5-minute Orb Army on the clock. 5-minute Orb played out beautifully yesterday. Look at the IV, guys. Let's take a look at the IV. $38. Okay, so it will be about 58. 35. It's at 38. So now let's start to see if it ticks lower. Yeah, very expensive, guys. All right, so you're gonna have to pick your spots and go with your best ideas. All right, because there's a cost, there's a high cost for it. We're at that monthly downside breaker. So this is actually January's lows here. Okay, we're below February's lows. We're below January's lows. Now, 5-minute Orb Army exists right here. That range holds up for the next 5 minutes. See if we can do right here. Okay. Huge gap down. Absolutely, guys. Massive, massive gap down. Bull trap. We're just at VWAP. So far, we're seeing the Qs, the Dow. Qs are above VWAP. The Dow's at VWAP. IW selling off. IW selling off. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. If you're just jumping in. So we have these two runways. Okay. And that runway down here, runway up there. Osiris, thank you for purchasing a refill my coffee, Osiris. Appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. Okay, we're starting to bounce off that 25. Okay, see if you get that hold. Hold, hold, hold. $675 along with that level. $674. Okay, see if you can hold below that. Qs are starting to sell off as well. This is the level right here. Okay, that's the 5-minute orb level. IW selling off right off the open. Now, the question is, can we hold below this key zone? That daily open plus that 675. Daily open plus 675. If we can start to retrace reject off of this, might be something there. If it just goes to the other side, there's nothing. If you're waiting for the 15-minute orb, continue to wait. Did it give us a signal yet? Nope. And we're moving about $1.58 per 5-minute candle. $1.58 per 5-minute candle. That's some aggressive movement, guys. Aggressive movement. So precision is required. So no hold below that. Index is shooting to the upside. And now we're triggering the other side. Other side of the runway. See if we can get above that. Above here. Can we close above there? I want to see some clear closes above levels. All right, I'll try to avoid front running. See if we can hold. Strong close above it. So if we just chop in this area, we continue to recoil, stay in this area. There's nothing to do. Good morning, Hussein. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. 15-minute orb army. Okay. Still on hold. 5-minute orb. See if we can hold above that. If we can hold above that, we continue to sell off, sell below 25. That can open up that door. Nice engulfing count on the 5 here. Can we hold above here? Want to see a nice hold above that level. Qs. Engulfer there. If we can hold above that, this is the runway. We have room to right there. a daily downside breaker. Yeah, I like how the VIX is pushing lower. Look at the 679s. If we can hold that. Okay. Starting to work our way to the upside. VIX below 25. That's good. Come in one more time. Want to see an immediate wick. Want to see an immediate wick out of there. If a wick's out of there, immediately, I'm taking the calls back the upside, 679s. Okay, I'm taking the calls right there. My risk will be this 670, 677. Nasty, nasty trap, nasty candle there. See if we can recoil. If we can recoil, that'll be great. If we fall below 670s, 577, I'll get stopped out. Down 10, down 12. Okay, I'll stay stop out there at 16. So just got trapped there. I wanted to see if there's some follow through behind it, and it just got back in. Came back at the downside. First trade stopped out there on the calls. See if there's some room behind it. Right, very tight window. You can see how much ground these candles are covering. Okay, they're moving very viciously. Vicious moves. Excuse me. They're moving nicely, moving to the downside, moving to the upside. Swings on both sides. So they trapped buyers there, trapped sellers here. If we just kind of zoom out, right, we kind of pushed into this up for grabs territory. We're still within pre-market low, pre-market high. So let the dust settle. For the second trade, let the dust settle. We're about 4 minutes away from the orb. 15-minute orb. We're sitting right at that 25 on the VIX. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. See what's going on here. Okay. We're also seeing gold sell off here as well. Gold is starting to sell off. Crude still has that strength. IWM selling off. Dow about to sell off. This is on the 15. Q's rejected off that weekly downside breaker. Look at IW. IW's falling off a cliff. IW's falling off a cliff. Good morning, Nico. Good morning, Echo XL. We're back below that daily open. Yeah, that 5 minute orb is, you have to have that wrist very, very tight. Right? I didn't even have a chance to really breathe, right? Just one candle stopped out. IW continues. See if you can hold below this area, because it probably wants to pursue that PML. Okay. I don't want to have my entries right off those lows. 15-minute orb, 3 minutes left. We're starting to catch a bit off that 25. Okay, starting to catch a bit off that 25. We're holding that 25 on the VIX. Down goes the Dow. Down goes the IW. Down goes SPY. See if you can recoil and do one of those maneuvers. So good stop out here. My risk here was that weekly downside breaker. I didn't want to see this thing fall below that. Didn't want to see that thing fall below that. Okay, so now Again, don't chase those lows. If you're in a little early, see profit, take profit. Okay. It's looking like it wants to pursue these lows down here, that pre-market low. At 15, looks weak. Turn into a shooter, synchronized selling across the board. See if you want one little bounce to the upside. One little bounce to the upside. Okay, this thing has a move behind it. Nice move. Okay, starting to accelerate. So once it trapped these longs up here, decided to dump. So retrace, reject. We'll be on watch. And you want to take that second breakdown. Good stop loss. Yeah, that was, yeah. Because once I saw this candle, right, it was a wrap. And the fact that it broke below that 675.77 with relative ease, we couldn't get below that 25 and continue. Good stop out. So you can see the difference. This wick and this break with some follow through. This has room to that PML. That's that first target. So this general area now becomes a point of interest. VIX is climbing now, guys. It's above 25. It's above 25. Make sure you're taking profits. You get something like that, it just takes those profits away. These candles are moving with ferocity. They're moving with velocity, ferocity, the aggression. They got all of it. They got it all. Okay. They got it all. So that gave about $1.60, more than enough. If we reject off of this, I'll look to take it to the downside. I want the VIX to hold above 26. I want that retrace reject. If we go wick off of that, I want that retrace reject. I want that candle to close, unlike here. All right. Waiting for that close is critical. Coming through those waves. Okay, I'll take it right there. Okay, when the put's here. See if they continue to push lower. Didn't get the best fill. My fill is like all the way down here. All right, so daily open will be my risk. Okay, up 10. Takes them off right there. Up 13, 14. Okay, see if you can get those lows. TP where you need to. Up 11. Down to runners. The 15-minute orb is right here. Okay. See if we can move with some ferociousness here. On those puts, go, go, go. Go, go, go. Trigger that orb up 15, 16. Take some more off. Okay, I want that break below that level. I want the VIX to hold above that 25 now. As it comes into it, hold above that. Okay. I'm granted I didn't even get the best fill there. I want those lows to get broken, trigger the orb. I want all the orbs to be triggered. And that can really lead us into that PML. Now we do have a buy block to the left of us, so we have to respect that. Up 19, 20. Break that aggressively. Break that aggressively. Want that ripple to work. Make sure you're taking profits if you took that, guys. That's 20%. That's about $40 per contract. There we go. 27. 29. Hold below that orb. Hold below the orb. See if you can target that PML. 30. There we go. 31. 32. 33. I want to slice and dice through the PML if we get there. 35. I don't want this to reclaim the orb. If it reclaims the orb, I'll close out. Okay, I'll close right there. Okay, good. If it gets below PML, I'll look for another trade. So 35 there. Okay, so stopped out here. Re-engage there. And now since I'm gone, guys, it's gonna continue to go. Look at the signal. Our thing. Our indicator. Indicator says short at 1049. Risk being 674.20. Okay, so it goes to target. Beautiful trade. Okay. And you want to take that. If you took that, put a $sign in the chat. Granted, I didn't even get the best entry. My entry is like down here. All right. Didn't get the best entry. But hits that target, starts to go back the other way. So this is a key. This is an area of interest because it has two key levels. The 5-minute orb happens to be there. Nice retrace reject. Waited for that candle closure. It's higher quality setup than this one. This setup I do like as well, but I didn't wait for that confirmation. Okay. And look at the VIX. Continues to accelerate. The waves are waving now, and they're playing a vicious game, guys. Make sure you're taking those profits. 50% SPY put. Beautiful job. You probably got a better entry than me, Turbo. Beautiful job, Turbo. Excuse me. Stop loss 5 puts. I'm in. As long as you define your risk, guys, you'll be okay. And I can easily, if I don't manage my risk, I can be sitting through this. You can go down from minus 15, 16 to minus 60, 70. And I'm babysitting this and missing this opportunity. So the quicker you admit that you're wrong, the quicker you can move along. The quicker you admit you're wrong, the quicker you can move along. All right? Beautiful job, Turbo. According to the Shockwave 15, remember the one contract challenge I was thinking of doing, guys? This is what I want to do it with. Right? The one contract challenge for everyone for the small account. Use this and just adjust the risk to this. But maybe use a different account to do that. Okay? And just either hit target or get stopped out. The reason why I wouldn't do that with a normal account is because you don't know how long it takes to hit target. Every situation is different. All right, there's more to it than that. Okay. How we doing, strikers? How we doing? Got a piece. Beautiful. So biggest lesson is manage risk there. Okay. Look for the next setup. You can easily recover. Don't manage risk there. Probably missed this. See how long the VIX holds above that 25. If it comes back into this territory, there might be something there to entertain. I am feeling slightly under the weather, guys, so if you hear me sniffling, I'm under the weather. All right. 5-minute nasty wick on the 5. Bigger picture, team. Bigger picture. Look. Now that test zone, we come into it, we test it, we push. It's going to be very hard for me to short here, okay? Very hard for me to short here. If you recall in the pre-market game plan, we said based off this test zone, we can come into it. But once we come into that pre-market low, I want to see that break below pre-market low. Decisive break, not just flirt with pre-market low, wick, go back and forth, and have a toxic relationship with pre-market low. It has to be a very straightforward ordeal. Okay, we either break it, move away from it decisively, or we grab it and move away from it decisively. In these kind of conditions, with these high IV conditions, guys, high ATR conditions, you can't afford for price to start a conversation with a particular level and go back and forth. You need those swift moves, right? And catching the swift moves has to do with entries and execution. And it's hard, and sometimes it can be a little tricky, all right? It can be very tricky. Good morning, everyone. If you're just joining us, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. You can see my position right on the screen. You can see right here on the left, Praveen. So I took the calls here, stopped down 15, 16%. I was wrong, and then waited. We talked about this level being an area of interest. Wait for retrace rejects. This candle closed, and once this candle broke, I took it below those lows for the puts. And scaled out double digit, and then finally closed that last one at 35. Okay, at that target. So you can see it up here. So the folks on YouTube can't see this. All right, so this is, okay. So you can see, guys, the indicator tells us another put signal here. As long as this doesn't get violated. Naturally, guys, this is very wide risk. Okay, so what I mean, that's why you want to use, there's $1 and some change. So you at least have to, if you're going to have $1 and some change risk, you have to target 671.30. Okay, target is, for the puts is 671.30, TP1. After that 673.23 break. Let me put it here so you can see. Okay. Of course, that pre-market low is there. So if your risk is $1, you have to make $1. If your risk is aggressive all the way there, you have to target TP2. Still hold second orb attempt. As long as the risk is defined, you do a phenomenal job of managing that. What the orb army needs is that break of that pre-market low. Okay. Pre-market low break. Nice little structural flag. Synchronized selling. Hold above 25 VIX. Continue to push higher. That can help. So this is where we are so far. Quick check. Okay, 15 selling off, hourly directional to the downside. Q selling off as well, going near the session lows. They're not at session lows yet. We're seeing IWM falling off a cliff. We're seeing gold break below that level. So interestingly, gold is selling off as well. We're seeing VIX. Look at the VIX, guys. What was the game plan? From 26 to 27, that opens up what window? From 26 to 27, that opens up a window. hold below pre-market low, should be good to go. And this gives you maximum 3 signals, okay, per hour, maximum. Okay, it's not going to just give you a bunch of them. All right, so puts here, puts there. This is for the 15-minute orb cap. Target 671.30. Waves are waving to the downside. Waves are waving to the downside. How we doing, guys? How we doing, strikers? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? And with the nature of that style of trading, you have to sit through this back and forth. You don't know how long you're going to be in the position for. And that doesn't work favorably for my particular strategy or my particular scalp system, right? Because mine, I'm over-indexing for time, right? 3 to 5 minutes. So mine has to come to a certain level, right? And the way I trade, primarily come to a certain level. And once it gets to that level, have that reaction. They can't diddle or fiddle in that area or mess around with that area. Okay. Are you still using 9, 15, 20, 25 in the new tool? Don't have the EMAs on that yet. I'm gonna program the EMAs, but it's not gonna show on the screen. It's gonna be in the code. So you can see that pre-market low, very, very strong. All right, so our last TP is here. Can we wait a little bit more for a little more of a drop? Yes, but I'll close it out there. Okay, bounced off that pre-market low. You took that last drop, Firefly, or you got a little too late on the puts. And the thing is, the market will punish you guys if you're just a little too late. It's like you get this wick. The best way to mitigate it is just use less size. That's the best way, right? And the volatile conditions, if this, I would say maybe for this entire duration of the conflict in the Middle East, if IV continuously opens up above 35, cut your size in half. That's probably the best way. All right? So you have that additional layer of safety. Okay, these are very, because you can be right? You can be right, but since it goes beyond your risk threshold, you're wrong. So what don't you want to compromise? You don't want to compromise your risk threshold for particular conditions. The risk threshold stays the same. So it's okay. Let me just manage risk in a different way. Let me use half the size. Right, those small adjustments can help. So you poll on YouTube so far, 72% bearish. 72% bearish. Too late. There we go, holding puts. So if we go to here, all right, what I just don't like is all these lines. All right, I don't like a bunch of lines. And that's what, I don't know, just from my perspective, I can just work with it like this. Okay, it still works, but I know where the target is. TP1 is all the way. TP1 is all the way. But you see how long it's taking? That's one of the issues. TP1 is all the way here. 671.30. Now what's the risk? Risk is conservative. It gives it to you right there. But look, the fact that it's taken so long, if you're using significant size, it's chewing up those contracts. So this is great for small account. This is great for, unless you go further dated, of course. But that pre-market low is giving us a hard time. Okay. It's about to hit target. It's about to hit target 1. Yeah, I got that message, Kevin. That latency pop-up. Please be advised, there's a third-party clearing provider. Futures trading is currently experiencing latency issues. That pre-market low is strong. Pre-market low is strong. 24%. Beautiful job, guys. See profit, take profit. If you can survive this week, okay, even if you can get break even, small red this week, you're doing tremendous. Let it fall, Firefly. Let it fall. Let the wall come down. VIX continues to go north, so that helps it. So less and less buyers stepping up every single time. Okay. Beautiful job, guys. Beautiful, beautiful. Anyone else? How we doing on YouTube, guys? YouTube, how we doing? 10:30. Let's get 60 likes. We'll do a giveaway. Giveaway winners. I did send you the details to claim your prize. Check your inbox. Okay. Check your inbox. Okay. Buyers can continuously protect that PML. They refuse to give it up. See if these waves can be contained, if these waves can hold. For the time being, if those waves can hold, so no close above those waves. If you were short at that 15-minute orb, your runaway 76 cents into PML. If you're waiting for that target, still have a little bit of waiting to do. 671.30. Very interested to see if we can break this to go back the upside. Let's get the likes up, guys. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're a first-time viewer. Let's know where you're joining from. Took 2 trades already. Stopped out on one. One worked in our favor beautifully. We got 100 plus people, guys. We have 30 likes. Make sure to like the video. Okay, take a moment, pause, go ahead and like it, and we'll do the giveaway. Okay, see if we can start to crack here. At least the hole below it. It's almost at TP. 671.30. This is just a lot of premiums getting drained here. Okay. On the 15, check back on the 15. That new hourly candle, 10 o'clock candle, we're trading below it On SPY, Qs were still inside that hourly range, top of the hour candle. The Dow selling off. The sell-off continues. The VIX still has room to 27. VIX continues to push for higher. Crude did push into 77.98. See if we can start to pursue those highs as well. 50% retrace the monthly downside. That is the quarterly 50% retrace monthly downside target. Major level. Very major level there. Right, so this is what I don't want to get involved in, right? This type of action. This back and forth is very easy to get shaken out, over trading, get frustrated. So now it's for the next entry. It's important that we find areas where where smooth action is likely to take place. Smoother action. There's no real way to time it. Sometimes it's just getting that timing that entry nicely. I'll pay attention to this territory here. All right, it's hard to open up any new ideas in this territory. Maybe some existing traders who have ideas there. They're just babysitting their position. Be on the lookout for this. So you don't want to see this break. Okay, as long as they don't try to take that out, structurally shift price here. Waves are still waving to the downside below VWAP. Okay, almost at target. Almost. How much time has passed since our initial interaction? So about 12 minutes. It's not too bad. Okay. I need IW to break 254 IW. You got 254.09. It's at 254.20. Let's take a look at IW on the big screen here. Yeah, all of them are just right there. They're just teetering. So if IW can at least stay below POC. That might be that fine line in the sand. That wiggle room to give it. Okay, VIX starting to slow down slightly here. Again, it's going to be tough here, right? If you recall in the game plan, we talked about two ideas pertaining to this pre-market low. One was, of course, the grab. One was, of course, the retrace reject. All right, so we're seeing that back and forth, how much that 15-minute candle is being impacted. Okay. 100%. I like that graphic. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up CNBC. In the meantime, give me 1 second. Let me refill my tea. Get some tea, and then I'll be right back. In the meantime, let's get the likes up. Let's take a listen to our friends at CNBC. Stocks tumble, oil. I didn't get a chance to read that headline fully. Okay, let's take a listen.
Different, I'm sorry to say, than the current one. I don't know to what extent it'll still have a clerical dimension, but it will have, for sure, the security forces playing a large role. It's going to be anti-American. It's going to be anti-Israeli. It's going to continue to want to accumulate weaponry, maybe even put into place the prerequisite of a nuclear weapon. It'll continue to support proxies. I do not think, I'm sorry to say, that Iran is going to emerge from this as transformed.
Well, Congress gets briefed today, and the president will be hosting Chancellor Merz. Maybe we get some more visibility on short-term policy objectives. Richard, appreciate it as always. Thank you. Richard Haas.
Thank you.
Sarah?
Target shares, a rare gainer this morning in a down market after better than feared full year guidance. And the retailer kicks off its first investor day under new CEO Michael Fidelki. He joins us now exclusively, his first television interview since stepping into the role. Thank you for the opportunity and for having us here today.
Great to be here with you, Sarah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see you. I think we have to start on the news, though, because the market is down 2%, and there are all sorts of concerns about now sharply higher oil prices and what that might mean for the consumer. Is that something that you'd be worried about watching the headlines right now?
Well, we're absolutely paying attention to the consumer, deep students of the consumer. And for us, it's about knowing whatever the consumer backdrop is, how do we show up to win? And so that's some of what we'll share today is a new chapter for Target, really listening to the consumers, because the consumers told us what Target looks like at our best for them. And that's being design-led, setting the pace with style, pairing that with an incredible experience. If we do that well, we think we're positioned to grow. And the consumer backdrop is one we'll stay close to.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I really wanted to ask you. So you've been in the new CEO job for about a month now, but you've been at Target for more than 20 years. Why are you the guy to turn it around if you've been here for so long? A lot of people are wondering that.
So started 23 years ago as an intern. And I think that that's allowed me to see Target at its best and to see where we have opportunity. And I view that experience as giving me a really good running start. Because the work we've been up to as a team over the last several months has been all about taking a hard look at the business. Where are we strong? Where do we have work to do? And that's led to real clarity on strategy. And with that focus comes the ability to move with urgency where we have progress to be made. And
I was going to ask, where did it go wrong? I mean, you just reported another quarter of comp store sales that were down 2.5%. As I mentioned, it's been a long string now of declining or stagnant sales. So what happened?
So when I spend time in stores talking with our consumers, they tell us from Target, there's two things they want us to be great at. Leading with merchandising authority. We're at our best when we create that sense of delight and discovery, where you come through the Target store and you're looking for what's new, what's stylish, at incredible value. That's our lane. And then we need to pair that with an experience that's every bit as good. When we do those two things well, I'm confident it brings us back to growth. And that's driving every decision we're making in the business right now, where we're going to make investment, where we're going to make choices to reclaim that merchandising authority and make sure.
Okay, we're still hanging out right at that PML. Still hanging out at the PML. Just testing a lot of shorts patience. All right. Let's go back to SPY here. See if it finally starts to crack. About to hit that first target. All right, so to withstand this, further dated would be the best way to go. Let me close this out. Okay. Okay, we're below PML now. Okay, target is 671.30. It's about to hit that target. About to hit that target. That target is equivalent to the bearish quad 1. Okay, that's what it's equivalent to. Where did my chart go? Are you kidding me? Okay, there we go. Is anyone else's charts acting wacky, or is it just mine? Okay, about to hit that target, guys. I mean, if you sat through that and you were short, you earned that target. You definitely earned that target. 671.18. You're on mute. Can't hear. Yeah, I just stepped away just to refill my hot beverage. Anyone still in this? If you are, a round of applause. Not easy to sit through that back and forth. We can also see we didn't get that reclaim. We didn't get that structural. We got the breaks a few times, but no holds. Right, so there we go. You can see first target hit. First target hit. If I put everything back on. Again, this will be available very, very soon, guys. It's going to be awesome. And I will use this for the small account challenge. All right, so entry puts, you have to sit through a lot. And if your risk is marked out, if your risk is here, okay, already went 1-to-1. You can see it gives you the exact measure, 97 cents. Okay, for that first target, 2-to-1. If you're using conservative, if you're using aggressive, it's 1-to-1. So this one is always 2-to-1. That conservative risk to first target is always 2-to-1. If you're looking for 3-to-1, the next target is there. You just have to trail your stop. And you can see the sync. 4 out of the 4 of them are down. VIX up. That's what you want to see. Ideally, you want this to be synced up. You want the synchronized selling, synchronized buying. You don't want it to be mixed. Okay, so the traders who take that to first target, they're done. Second target, you can start to move. You can say, hey, you know what? Let me start to move my risk, something like that. Right, trail your risk to the down to hit that second target. Third target, all the way here. All right, so the time where you're going to be at third target is if your risk is, of course, this wide sometimes. All right, if you want to just risk that, you can always be there for the third target as well. It's completely up to the trader. Get completely up to the trader. IWM broke that level. Beautiful, beautiful break, Lynn. Within my risk, good, good, good. Great job being patient, team. Sold 2 for 30%. Holding 1, 4 puts. 15%. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for the gap update. December 18th, gap officially closed. So Elion is tremendous on keeping track of those gaps diligently. Done for the day. Around break even. 1 trade, 1 loss, 1 win. Half size. Good, good, good. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. So you guys earned it. The ones who were in those puts in that area, you stayed patient, and now you're getting rewarded. And I would say that's not reckless patience either. You just had to sit through the storm. Right? There's a difference between sitting through the storm and being patient when the setup gets invalidated completely. All right, so from that, let me explain. So if it does this, that's no longer being patient. That's just being reckless. And it continues to go. I wouldn't consider that being patient. Patience is when you're in the position, still valid, and there's a little bit of turmoil, a little bit of back and forth. All right? But it's still within your risk, because every trade is not going to go as smooth as you want. All right, now this thing is about to knock out second target. So retrace reject off PML is what I'll look for. Or retrace reject off 680, 671, 18 is shallow. Beautiful job, 50%. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You can see our traders, folks on YouTube, doing tremendous. 7 minutes. So the game plan. What was the game plan this morning, guys? VIX, what are the two most important levels for the VIX? Okay, so from 26 to 27. And what don't we want to see? If the same thing that took place yesterday is going to occur, we laid out the thesis. All right, so we're going to have a thesis for both sides of the equation. Right, because it's not that we're bullish or bearish, is we're hybrid. Okay, we're hybrid. Nice bounce off 670. Nice bounce off that 670 as it continues to push. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Anyone still holding runners? 51%. That's one contract, guys. 3 runners. Beautiful job, Firefly. I already took mine here. Right, so my particular style is not, I don't like to sit through this kind of mess. Right? Because for me, I could easily get, especially with those zeros, I can easily get shaken out here. So I need to exist here or exist on the breakdown for the majority, for most of the time. Okay. So first shift, 5 minutes away from wrapping up. Complete sell-off. We're opening up this new dimension, guys. This dimension is officially open. On the lower time frames, if the synchronized selling continues, I want to see some sort of structural break. So that's what we look for. First shift lows are going to be pivotal. How we interact with those lows will be pivotal. That's going to come in at 1031. So we'll see what those lows are. Initial response to 670, psychological level. Right, bulls trying to prop it up. First wave. Waves are waving. IWM is below that 254. Qs are below PML. Qs just cracked PML. Below 675, guys. This is the expected downside move. 665.85. And the expected upside move was 686.99. That's the expected range. Question is does this 670 provide us with some sort of bounce and then a drop? .73% of the chance, 73% of the chat is bearish. That's very telling. So now we're about to crack 28 on the VIX, guys. And no signs of slowing down on the IV. Okay, how we doing on Google Meets? How we doing, team? 50% for Smith. Beautiful job. Beautiful, beautiful. So we're about to wrap up first shift. If you're green in first shift, okay. If you took no trades in first shift, if you're break even or red, before you take any more trades in second shift, make sure to know what trades you're looking for, what levels you're paying attention to. All right. The objective is to do less with more, to trade less, to trade for less time. Holding my put. Beautiful job, Elian. If I close out now, I'll be break even. That's the first trade hurt. But look at that. So you're making your way back to break even. Keep in mind, my first trade, all right, stopped out here, if you recall. Okay. Looked good. Didn't look good. Nasty candle. Push the downside. How would if I decide not to close? I would argue this trade is better than this trade. The way I closed here is better than this trade here to the downside. All right. So if you want to give yourself a fighting chance at all times, manage that risk. That's so important. Now VIX is about to crack that 28. So if we want to take another leg lower below that 670 psychological level, more than likely VIX needs to reject off 28. If we just propel past 28, we can start to crack this 670 to the downside. Tremendous bounce back, Firefly. Anybody else, guys? Anybody else? How we doing? As we wrap up first shift. Make sure to like the video on YouTube, guys. We will do a giveaway. 60 likes is the threshold, and 100 likes, 150 likes, increments of 50. Okay. We were able to smash our record yesterday, so we can do it today again. By no means are the conditions here easy, guys. These are not easy conditions to trade. All right, so even if you're staying afloat, you're doing tremendous. This is designed, I always say it's designed to literally take you out. Okay, this is designed to take you out. If you can survive, you will thrive. Keeping a close eye on that 28. If we take a look at here, okay, the Shockwave 15 indicator. It says puts here, goes to TP. TP1 already hit. Okay. $670. Make sure you're taking those profits. That breakdown smashed through a few targets. Qs are looking to reclaim PML 592.34. PML retrace reject. What does that PML line up with? Okay, let's take a look at the 5. I don't like this when it does that. When it universally applies the drawings everywhere. Look at that bounce off 675. Psychological level. At the very end, we grab those lows or near those lows and we start to push. Just how quickly things change. Okay, new shift. We're starting to work our way into that 9. Keeping a close eye on that PML. For retrace reject, I'm going to wait my time trying to see what takes place there. We're testing that 9 EMA. I want to see a nice 5-minute candle close, another 5-minute candle. Some sort of inverted hammer off that. Multi-candlestick combination in that territory would be great. Okay, possibly evening star in that area. And look at the VIX, all right, off that 28. Rejects off 28, we bounce off 670. So as we bounce, do we have enough fuel off of this bounce to propel us higher? So in this area, looking for bearish, PA, combos. Okay. No bearish combos, we get the reclaim. Preferably if we can start to pump into this will give us the best entry. Right? Into that POC and that PML. Right now it's flirting with that 9 EMA. Did reject off of it. Right? If you trade 9 EMA, that's a nice little drop on the 5. But what I want to see is in this territory, that 5-minute combo. Okay? for a dead cat bounce. Stop down 30% puts. Beautiful job. 20% green. Going back to paint. 100% guys. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. We got the best team in the space, guys. Look at our traders. I'm looking at our open interest options. It's lopsided. 30% puts, 20% green. In these conditions, 40%, 55%. Okay. We can see 51%, 20%, 45% within the first hour. 30% for JB. I like this. This is 100% true. Right. I couldn't agree more with that. Okay, 50% spy put turbo. And stop loss $100. 30% there. Down 30%. All right, so all in all, tremendous job, team. Tremendous job, tremendous job. So if you're green, stay clean. Okay, you hit the objective. If you are green, stay clean. All right, so now the last thing I want to see is a slowdown. Slowdown in the action. Tightening on the ATR. Keeping a close eye on this 5. I want some sort of multi-candlestick combination off of it in this territory. If we can, I'll take it. If not, look for a grab of lows. Okay, so either playing the dead cat bounce or the liquidity grab with confirmation. That's the idea going to second shift. All of them are going into their 90 MAs, into the wave on the 9. So what's great for me is like it's hard for me to exist in the middle of that runway is up here. At least come into that 671.91. It needs to be close to a key level. Right, keeping those precise entries. All right, what would be a great setup is if it comes here, back into here. Okay, that's 671.18, and then eventually take it back at those lows. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Need that precise entry. I'm in shorts futures, trailing TP now. Look at that, guys. $2,000 for Carla, close to $2,000. So futures traders, you definitely want to be in that. If you do trade futures, share ideas in there. We have some great futures traders. And look at that. 5 minutes, still a bearish trend, bullish action. Bearish trend, bullish action. So if I want to confirm that rejection, I want to see a bounce off that 27. I want to see a bounce off that 27. If we slice and dice through 27, just accelerate. Nothing there for me. Get rid of that rejection. Second shift, I'm using less size. Going to go a little further. Strike. I'll take the 689 so I can take it to the floor. Okay, I want to see if that 5 minute candle can hold. Like that 1 minute combo on the 1 would be great. Like how we're bouncing off that 27. I want candle closure. Took QQQ lotto call off that PML reclaim. That was beautiful. Beautiful job, Brad. The encouraging thing is, guys, despite this action, despite this volatility, there's still opportunities. So you should be encouraged, right? That's the awesome thing with trading. If you know what to look for, there are still opportunities. There's still a chance, right? Granted, it's going to be harder to navigate. You just have to take into consideration the external variables. But over time, that's going to make you a better trader. Over time, that makes you a better trader. See if you can hold below those lows. That 5-minute candle, if you're waiting for that exact entry, you want that shooter, okay, inverted hammer, and a break below that low. Okay, that's the exact entry, confirmation entry. If you're using those lower time frames to operate, of course you look for something else. Okay. So I'm going to try to get this as close as possible to the close of this 5, so this thing doesn't turn into a breakout. Okay, I'll continue to wait. If this 5-minute candle goes full body close above POC and above that pre-market low, right, they might want to take this a little bit higher for that dead cat bounce. Okay, so I'm looking at potentially taking the puts in this area off the retrace reject. So if this turns into a wall of supply, I'll take it to the downside. First target 671.18, and then once we can get through that, we can start to break. The Qs have some good fuel behind them. All the indexes are starting to bounce for the last 10 minutes. So playing a dead cat bounce here. Okay, see if we get the nice little drop. 5-minute break below 670.79. If it breaks above these highs, it continues to push. So ruling out the possibility of getting caught, right? Doing whatever I can to make sure I have that good entry and I don't get caught. I'm looking for leap options about 2-3 months out. Months out, thoughts on target to buy at strike for SPY. Okay, so it looks like buyers continue to pile in. No bearish price action combinations. I'll answer that question once we jump into the charts, and I'll show you how to find those targets. There's a way of doing that. Okay, make sure to like the video, guys. Once we're at 60 likes, let me know in the chat. We will do the giveaway. Okay. If you're interested in joining our community, delay-free, ad-free stream, and of course access to top resources, use the code TRIAL30 for March. TRIAL30 March, save 20% off. There's 15 spots for the month of March. All right, so it looks like bulls are looking to have their way here. We'll respect it. At 670, we had some fuel behind 670. So I'll wait for that bearish 5-minute candle. Nothing yet. We're in the jaws of that 9, that 21. I want to really time this entry. Okay, we have 130 people joining us this morning. Let's get the likes up. Let us know where you're joining from. First-time viewers. VWAP on IWM 255.35. IWM looks like it's the first one that wants to reclaim VWAP. First name to reclaim VWAP. I want to see you get that shooter candle on this 5-minute candle. Multiple areas of confluence for potential dead cat bounce. If you're waiting for 50-50, we'll mark that out as well. Okay, see if there's some follow through behind that move. That 5-minute candle. Okay, I like that grab. I like that rejection. I want this 1-minute candle to bounce a little bit. I'll take it off those lows. Want to time that entry. Okay, that 1-minute candle, that 5-minute candle has a minute left. And that during that minute, I want the VIX to get above that 27. See one little bounce. If it falls below 671.18, you can start to really go. Get a bounce. I'll fade this bounce here. Okay, I'm in the puts. Further strike. Somewhat of a lotto. I don't want that PML to get reclaimed. Okay, if you did take it, manage accordingly. Of course, the ideal entry is all the way up there, but I was waiting for that 5 minute to clear out. So in this territory, that would have been the perfect entry. So now I don't want price to close back above here. Okay, that's it. No close back above there. See if I can take it to those lows. I want this 5 minute candle to hold for the next 5 seconds, and I want these lows to get taken out. Okay, if you're waiting for the official break of that 5, it's 670.97, the official break level. See if the Qs can break below those lows as well. So no close here. It is going to see a little bit more of a drawdown percentage-wise. It is further strike, but my risk is up there. Right here. Five-minute trigger, 670.97. What am I playing? Right, I'm betting there's a dead cat bounce. What's going to invalidate it? Higher highs. This level here. Some buyers are there, willing buyers are there, but we just need to let them be overwhelmed. If you're waiting for the 5, 670.97. 670.97. I do like how the VIX is above 27. If that can hold, that'd be great. 5 minute trigger for that confirmed entry, 670.97. What that translates to is, of course, the 9 EMA, 20 EMA zone, and we get some sort of evening star. If it gets above these highs, then we'll be invalidated. That's about a 25 to 20% risk. Possibly, maybe even 30. We'll see. It just depends on how long it takes to transpire. Okay. VIX in the meantime, as we go back and forth between those two zones, I want the VIX to stay above 27. So again, it seems like we're caught in this territory. So I'll wait it out. The Qs, again, same thing on the Qs. I want that level on the Qs to get broken. That'll help our case. Okay, I have an alert there. Okay, I want that break this time around. We did see 7.8 initially off of the initial entry, but looking for healthy double digits, possibly back to 670. I want to break below 671.18. We did see buyers step in earlier there, so we want them to get overwhelmed. See if we can break below 670.97. So this is a critical level. This is the 50% retrace of the quarter, as well as a monthly downside target. Okay, that's why it's so highly contested. Did the one-way flip. Okay, one wave is about to flip to the downside. Okay, let's see if we can start rocking and rolling. There we go. There we go. Go Qs. Okay, TP where you need to. Take a majority off right there. At 10, I want this to hold, and I'll just see if we can go to the floor now. Qs, I want the Qs to hold below that level. See if we can go to the floor. Again, continues to hold. Structurally, want this to break. The VIX continue to push high. That'd be great. Again, TP where you need to, guys. Right, we're seeing a lot of, I don't want to close back above here now. A lot of back and forth. It is up 10. Up 14, up 19. Taking some more off right there. Down to last one. See if we can take it to 670. Okay. If it closes back above here, I'll close out. All right. Anyone take that? Dollar sign in the chat if you took it. Take some time to play out. Right? But that was a good trade. Now we need this hold above 6797. Don't reclaim it. If it starts to reclaim it, then it can go back into that cycle of that back and forth dance. Okay. See if we can take this into these lows. How we doing, strikers? How we doing? How we doing? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 3.38% on the portfolio. That's how we do it, guys. See if this can go all the way to the floor. A floor being 670. But you see all the back and forth. So the best way to factor the back and forth in is probably just use less size, guys. That's the best solution I have. All right, especially if you're just sized down, maybe it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. That'd be great. If we close back above NC, if we close back above this on the one, I'll close out. You can see the back and forth volatility. Okay. So no close above here. So if a Wix pushes lower, stay in, close above it to the upside. We'll close out last runner. Starting to see some buyers stepping off that inefficiency there to the left of us. Okay. See if they can get stifled. This 5-minute candle, preferably close below 670.97 would be great. To stay in force, needs to close below these lows, 670.72. Okay. If I'm trader 2, meaning don't take profit, we did see profit upwards of 17, 18, 19, 20%. That'll be the risk, and that'll be of course, the target, and you'll still be in the position. So again, we've been using that analogy a lot last week. Okay, no close above here or the floor. the last minute here on that 5-minute candle, I want us to be aggressive. I want the bears to really start stepping in. So this 5-minute candle can close full body. 15-minute candle playing out beautifully. Remember the setup we talked about in the pre-market, guys? We talked about that retrace reject in the pre-market. That was one of the ideas. That's what we're doing right now. Okay. If we can stay below 670.72, the bears have less work to do going into the next 5-minute juncture. The VIX, I want the VIX to continue to push higher. See this back and forth is such a killer, guys. You see the back and forth. You see how the contracts are fluctuating, right? So that's why it's so important to take majority off, take the profits, and then see what takes place, because it takes you through an emotional roller coaster. Okay. Okay, new 5-minute candle here. Let's zoom out just for a second. So this 5-minute candle, break below these lows, that'd be great. No close back above 670.50. As we target lows down here. If we get below 670.38, we continue to get to sell off. Last time we were here, we're up 18-19%. Now we're only up 5-6%. Okay, that's data. I like how the VIX is still fueling up. Okay. I like how the VIX is fueling up. I like how the Qs are back at that PML. If the Qs can break 592.34, that would be great for us as well. The back and forth does chew a lot of the premium. My NC is right here. Okay, I'll close it right there. Close the last runner, minus 14. Okay. So in this case, we squeezed double digits out of it. Last runner couldn't really go. And you can see here, in comparison to here, a lot of back and forth. And I don't feel like sitting through all that back and forth. All right, so again, gets up there, pushes back lower. Every one of these pushes and then drops lower, right? It's not going to have that same appreciation. It needs to push up and drop lower than it was to equal where it was here. Okay? Anyone sitting through that, holding those runners? If you are, tremendous. Normally I'd be in puts with you guys, but they're high premium and didn't think it was more downside. Took some calls for that bounce play. Good. I was bummed I couldn't attend a boot camp this weekend. I had to work. I started reviewing the material. Okay, good. So the material is available. You have access to it, Brad. All right, so go through it. If you have any questions, send me a DM. So the recording is available for those of you who weren't able to attend. $10.45, yes. I was in puts here. Inputs there. No longer inputs. I need some follow through. I don't want to be caught in this back and forth. Because the thing is, we might go back and forth for some time between this range. So see profit, take profit, give it a little room to run. Doesn't run, get violated, get out. Okay, see if they can. What the bulls want to do is break this. Reclaim that PML. Okay, guys, make sure to like the video. Let's get the likes up. If we can get above that PML, and we break below 27 on the VIX, that'd be great. That will open up the door for us to continue to push higher. How many likes we got so far? Make sure to like the video, guys. We got 140 plus people joining us today. Let us know where you're joining from. Let us know where you're joining from in the chat. So we're at 57 likes. Okay, we'll do the giveaway. 2 giveaways at 100 likes. So we did take some trades already. Our last 2 trades worked in our favor. Double-digit appreciation. This one stopped out. Granted, this was somewhat of a lotto. Trying to see if I could get some move to the downside. Sat through a little bit of drawdown, upwards of 12 to 15%. Okay. And if those 3 are the one, we'll try to get one more trade in. Everything from this point on is just very small size, guys. All right. Premiums are extended. They're starting to fade. That PML reclaim does look appealing. Back to VWAP. If the VIX holds below 27. Want some confirmation. Before that, as far as 50-50 is concerned, 50-50. is in that territory. Let's take this. If that lands in that VWAP area, I'll be there for it. Boom. 50-50. 50-50. Right? So all eyes on 50-50. That's where I'll be hanging out. Okay, that lines up with the VWAP. That's good. Again, until proved otherwise, this is resistance, all right? Thank you for your live streams. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Just do me a favor, smash that like button. We can easily get to 200 plus likes. We already had 400 plus people join us, 400 plus guests. All right. So if you're a first time viewer, let us know where you're joining from. This is your go-to channel for all things live trading spy, market coverage, analysis, commentary. We focus on the charts. We try to make it as educational as possible. Every episode is jam-packed with stuff, and the audience leads the way. You guys bring the questions. I try to answer it to the best of my ability. If I don't know the answer, I will lead you to the answer or some resource that can get you to the answer. All right, so first shift, we did see some nice opportunities. A lot of our traders took the puts here. Second shift, took puts. A lot of back and forth. This is what I don't like sitting through. Okay. Let me clear this up a little bit. Who's done for the day? We will do our end of stream poll here shortly. I'm going to log off. My brain hurts. My first entry wiped me out. Profits. Yeah, automating. That's a great tip. For folks having trouble taking profits regularly at regular intervals, accept and loss at safe level. I recommend automating your trading until you're better with emotions. Automating 100%. You can do it through Webull. On my last video, I do show how to do that. So if you want to know how to do that, you can automate your risk and automate your take profit as well. All right, so check out that webinar video here. That was the last video. Okay, set up Turbo Trader on Webull. That goes over how to do that. Okay, we can see SAT shockwave indicator says puts. Goes to target. TP1 hit. question is, can you sit through this back and forth? If you are using this, if you automate it, we'll give you a better chance. But if you're staring at the candles, it will be very difficult for you not to get shaken out. Right? So if you like things to be automated, this indicator will be available very shortly, guys. Putting up the finish last touches, final touches to it. Okay. Done. Took my 3 attempts already. Good, good, good. Okay, as the VIX collapses below 27, we're starting to see that break above that PMH. I don't think Volatile has an option only for stop loss. Once the trade is open, no option to cancel. Take profit automatically. I signed up for Webull, so waiting for. Okay, cool. Yeah, the Webull is great. If you are going to sign up, if you haven't signed up yet, you can use my code. All right. You get something, I get something. I believe you get 4% on your cash. So Webull, even if you don't trade, you're going to get 4% on your cash. All right, so literally cash is a position in that case. Okay, nice collapse on the VIX. Reclaim that PMH. That looked appetizing. And it starts to work nicely. So question becomes, where does this lead us? Okay, we are at that 50-50. If we violate 50-50, that means we're starting to reverse that move we saw. If we fall back below 50-50, we fall back below VWAP. It's a peekaboo above VWAP. We can start sliding it back to the downside. This is the weekly daily open for today, where our first trade came in. Now look at that reclaim, guys. I don't buy put because it almost closed supply demand zone. Makes sense? What a reclaim. Everything reclaimed VWAP. Clean up the chart a little bit. So last idea here, couldn't get it all the way to 670. All right, so you can see how we break through. We blast past 50-50. We have another hurdle to get over, 674.85. Okay, let's get 100 likes, guys. We're at 66. Let's take a listen to CNBC here real quick. Okay, I'll be right back.
Exactly what's going on with the 10-year Treasury yield. But I do think what we saw in equities, there was a little bit of puzzling price action yesterday where the market didn't really go down. We sort of saw, talking to our derivatives team, that people had been pretty well hedged coming into Monday. So you may be getting more of kind of the fear trade, sort of settling in today. I do think I'm seeing, a lot of sensical things in the price action today. Small caps are underperforming. That's a classic risk-off move. Staples is outperforming. Energy's outperforming. Energy for obvious reasons, but staples, does tend to do well during oil price spikes as a whole, and valuations still look good. We are seeing the NASDAQ start to outperform a little bit here as well, speaking to David's, sort of thoughts on the safe haven of the growth trade. So I would say, at least within equities, it looks pretty textbook to me today.
Finally, David, first quarter was supposed to be about tax refund, tailwinds, one big beautiful bill, depreciation schedules, foreign direct investment. What happens to that story, and what happens to the consumer mindset if retail gas goes to $3.40?
Those things are still happening. Maybe a little bit more of your tax refund will go toward paying for gasoline prices. But again, let's not overstate that. I do think gasoline prices will be higher for a period. But we've got other things that may weigh on confidence. like the housing market, let's keep an eye on those 10-year yields. I think consumers are a little bit cautious, but they will spend until there's really big hits to either the equity market, housing prices, or jobs. All of that type of stuff, I think, is unlikely and not, or at least not quickly.
But you do have your eye on the wealth effect.
We do, and I do think the consumer sectors, both of them, will be under some pressure. Our preferences are for sectors like healthcare and utilities, and if you want to take some risk in this environment, financials. It does spoil risk appetite a little bit, as Lori was speaking to, that the 10-year Treasury yields went up, bonds sold off a little bit. But I think that just speaks to the idea that conflict is inflationary, and that's why it's important that central banks conquer inflation amongst times of peace.
Well, and war tends to drive consumption and scarcity.
It does.
Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. That is the key question. David, Lori, thanks to both of you. Talk soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Energy prices are surging again today. That's as Iranian media reported a commander for Iran's Revolutionary Guard says the Strait of Hormuz is closed and Iran will fire at any ship trying to pass. Joining us now is Barclays energy analyst Amrit Singh. It's great to have you, Amrit. So do we assume that the Strait of Hormuz right now is closed for global shipping of energy, and how disruptive is that?
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for having me. Yes, that's right. So as of now, we're seeing like sort of flows out of the Strait of Hormuz having slowed quite significantly. And we've seen quite a few incidents as it pertains to tankers trying to sail through. We've seen headlines suggesting that Saudi Arabia is like sort of considering using the East-West pipeline that they have to redirect some of their exports via the Red Sea.
Okay, back. We continue to push the upside. VIX complete collapse below that 26. Probably wants to pursue. If it continues to push lower, right, there's a good chance we can possibly get back above that daily open. So 50-50, no breakdown at that 50-50. So we'll look for the retest. Again, guys, make sure to subscribe. Help us get to 3,400 subs. We're 50 subs away. We're at 66 likes. Let me check. 100 likes, we'll do the giveaway, 11:30. We'll do 2 giveaways at that time. So far, we've taken 3 trades. 2 of the trades worked in our favor. Last trade, reclaim, was nice as well. Okay, basically a mean reversion here. Back to that daily open. Okay. I had to take a quick seat. Okay, let's take a look at some tickers here. Some tickers. So Bitcoin flat on the day. What's moving? Everything is still red. So the gap down has not been recovered. Broadcom. Breakdown on Broadcom. Robinhood down 4%. We can see Hood. Nice breakdown there. Hits target. Massive volume imbalance there. Boeing. Disney. So there's no names that are green, guys. SoFi is a little green. CRWV. Nice break there. No, not CRWV. CRCL. CRWV, complete collapse. All the sectors are down. The one that's down the least, of course, is XLE. But XLE did take a slide. full list. The biggest winners so far. Target, of course, report earnings. CRCL, ACN, Adobe, ServiceNow. Surprisingly, software names. I'm starting to catch a nice little bid. PanW, Intuit. Biggest losers. CRWV, NEM, FCX, Dell, Micron. Micron got as low as 374. It was trading at above 400 yesterday. All right, you can see, all right, SAT Shockwave 15 gives you the entry. Is it going to be 100%? No, nothing's 100%, but it'll give you the probable, high probability entry. Okay, so we're back to being green on the day. We flip back above that daily open. And if we just go here real quick. I want to show you this daily candle up until now. Okay, very important to know where we are. Context is key. Context is key. If the day were to wrap up today, if the day was about to close right now, imagine right now it was power hour about to close out. How does this candle look to you guys? Would you say this is a bullish candle? Okay. Or a bearish candle? Bullish candle or bearish candle? What is this surrounding context? Support. Grab these lows. Would you say this is bullish or bearish? Put in the chat. Would you say that's bullish or bearish? Right. So if the day were to wrap up, we're starting to see some buyers picking it up off those lows. So the question becomes, can they sustain this, get back above daily open, and try to take it back above that 100 EMA, near that 677.48? Or is this just bounce, come back to daily open, come back to the higher end of that candle, and then complete pushback lower? And it's all going to unfold by the end of the day. As of now, right, this is leaning towards being bullish as of now. Right, so by the end of the day, you're going to revisit this, maybe power hour, and see where we are. Because there's a 3% pullback. Last time we saw a 3% pullback was, it's been quite some time, all right? No 3% pullback yet this year. If we get a hammer off of it next day, possible pushback to upside is very possible. So we will assess that at that time. So just want to keep that in the back of your mind. Right? Lots of things can change between now and the close. But as of now, if we just take it at face value, that's where we are. Okay? Bullish, 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 bullish. 100%. Beautiful job, Elion. You got it on that. If you got calls here off that pre-market reclaim, right, and that 26 VIX breakdown, you're golden. Okay, you're golden. All right. So we dump first shift, first hour, we pump second shift. Okay, tit for tat so far. Other side of the orb is up here. 15-minute orb. All right, so let's go to our we haven't got that break yet. So this already hit target. Okay. 2 targets, 1 target and beyond. All right. Once this structure broke, reclaim PML, out of here. Excuse me. Okay. Now we're within that range. For us to break, we need to get above 677.09. All right, let's get the likes up on YouTube, guys. Help us get to 3,400 subs. Make sure to share the video out with your trader friends. So that 670 is strong. This territory is strong. We're going to make that mental note for the rest of the week. Strong meaning there's willing buyers. All right, it's strong. So 670, think of 670 as being an area where buyers are interested. Because this is where all this fuel is being generated off of this reaction. Granted, we had some pushback here. All right, that's why we took advantage of the puts to see if we can get a nice push back into 670. But there's even willing buyers before we get into 670. So there's willing buyers all the way into this area. As we reclaim this territory as well, that pre-market low reclaim, guess where we're going? We reclaim that 671.01, 673.73, and we're back in this test zone. This is when things can start getting a little sticky. Okay. So going into third shift, what are some areas we can see price gravitate towards for bounces? Of course, the 50-50, right? For the completion of the reversal. That's one. That's between 672.97, 673.55. Of course, we have this one right here. Very shallow bounce. 675, daily open. Prior resistance or support. And of course, we have PML territory here. Okay. I don't know if we can do that. Can it come down to 670? Sure. But it's going to take... just try to map out the path, right? Map out the path, map out the scenario, and map out how we can get to 670. So right now we're at 675.55. So we're $5 away. All right. So one thing is, very unlikely path is we just drop right away. Very unlikely path. Barring a dramatic escalation in the conflict in the Middle East, that's a very, very low chance we see that. Okay, so what's another way we can get back to 670? Maybe some rejections off this level, maybe some rejections off these levels. But when we get those rejections, we need to get past, we need to get below this level as well. We need to get below this level as well. Right, so there's going to be multiple opportunities to ride a slide into the downside of 670. Right, but it's gonna require a $5 drop. Right, can it gradually work its way there? Okay, if the momentum gets shifted back the other way, new cycle begins. Possible, but it's always, if you're looking for a specific area, it's always good to map out what are some possible scenarios for price to get there and assign it a likelihood of getting there. So during second shift or third shift, for the next hour, we take it hour by hour. Very low likelihood that we will see a $5 drop. Right? Because even this drop wasn't as clean as this pump. You can see sellers had a hard time selling this thing because there was contention. Once buyers were able to withstand the selling pressure, it was fairly smooth for them to get up there. Okay, makes sense. Got a chunk of that gap. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that nice bounce off that area. Trend continues. Waves are flipped. We're going the other way. Just like that. Bullish, bullish. 1, 5, 15 showing bear flags. Beautiful job, Leon. Even if you get caught up in this, right? Say, for instance, all right, you're looking to take something, you're looking to take a breakdown, you get some sort of peekaboo, means like it kind of just breaks below that level, nice little trap, and it takes off, right? Those do happen sometimes. But as the risk manager, the manager of your account, it's very important that once the idea is invalidated, right, you try to exit quickly. Okay, it's almost like a burning house, right? A burning building. Once the building is on fire, right, it's very hard to leave. Right, when you see smoke, when you start seeing other people run out, that's your sign. But once the building is fully engulfed in flames, right, you need a miracle. You need someone to come rescue you. You need the market to drop. Or that just means, hey, you know what? And more than likely, you're going to freeze and not close the position. And you get cooked. Right? So, it's very, very important that most of the time when there's smoke, there's fire. So signs of smoke is, say we're going short, see if the VIX starts dumping aggressively, we reclaim a key level with strength. Okay, we reclaim a key level with strength, then that takes place. That's time to go. Okay. Beautiful job, Sancho. Look at that, guys. $1,000 days of the schedule now. Right? Back to back. Beautiful, beautiful job. It's very possible. It's very doable. 2 calls, 10%, 2 green. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Tremendous job, Elian. 2 trades, 100% win rate. Yeah, today was not easy at all, guys. All right, be encouraged. Okay. For us to make that next leg higher, we need to get below. We need to accelerate below 25. No 50-50. No slowdown there. We blast past it. Once you blast past the 50-50, there's a good chance it turns into a reversal. Okay, a good chance it turns into a reversal. Up 78%. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job. Was it off that reclaim? Pre-market low reclaim. NC. There we go. So this reclaim was beautiful. 671, yep, right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Our team, we have a resilient group, guys. We find ways to win. And it's so awesome to see people finding their stride. If you're a green guy, stay clean. If you're green, stay clean. We're basically back at close to those session highs. If you do trade the orb until 11:30, 12 o'clock, right? That break is up there. Has not broken structure since 100%. That was a clean move, right? You're getting these small pullbacks on the 1, right? But nothing significant on the 5. On the 5, it doesn't even show up. Let's take a wick on the 5, right? You can see on the 5. Cleanest move of the day. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes, how much ground do we cover? Close at $6. $5.70 within 30 minutes. Okay, now let's kind of zoom out here. Okay, so we have these gaps. If you recall this pattern from yesterday, took basically a day to play out overnight. So we have a gap. Remember this gap down? We got to the jaws that gap down. It might be better if I do this. You can see it better. Okay. Massive gap here. $670, very strong. Just zoom out just a little bit. Go to the 12-hour. Okay, let's just go to the 12-hour just for a second. All right. Just do something real quick. All right. You can clearly see there's some interest in that area. Okay, we came to it before. We're coming to it again. We're coming to it again. 670. What does that translate to the 4-hour? 4-hour. Nice wick on the hourly. 2 down, 2 up. Again, these kind of setups are counter trend trade because the waves are waving to the downside. So whenever you catch something off the lows when you're dip buying, you're counter trend trading. Okay. And then now that's where we are. So now do we have enough fuel to continue to propel us higher than our session highs? Or do we need a breather? Nice little run up there. Okay. 673.58. Session highs up here. If we incorporate those areas there. So we're going to start to stall here. It's going to take a breather. A new shift here. This shift, second shift, did take 1 trade. Worked in our favor. But the best trade in the second shift, of course, was that reclaim. The green day bullish. Is it too late to buy calls? This was really impressive at buyers to flip this 100%. Yeah, once price does a move like this, you need some sort of retracement. Some sort of retracement would be the best way. I mean, can it go higher? It can go higher, but after it goes higher, after every pause, more than likely you're going to have to get some sort of retracement into a key level. If we start to bounce off this 25, we can start to slice right back through that daily open. If we slice through 25, this can start to curl back up and start pursuing those highs once again. Okay. Make sure to like the video, guys. Make sure to like the video on YouTube. Let's get the likes up. Make sure to like. We're going to do the giveaway here shortly. Let's see how many likes we got. How many likes do we got? Who's done for the day? Okay, we're at 75. We're at 75 likes. Make sure to like. We have 131 people joining us. 75 likes. Smash the like button. If you're tuning in for the first time, make sure to subscribe. Okay, help us get to 4,400 subs. 4,400 subs is the goal for this week. 3,400 subs. Okay. We'll do the poll. We'll do the end of the stream poll. So probably end up ending early today. I am feeling a little under the weather, but still gotta show up. So that's the cool thing about trading, right? You can just still show up. At the end of the day, you're just lifting your finger and using your brain power to make decisions, and lifting your finger to execute. Let us know how you did today. All right, daily performance poll. The rejection was nice, JB. The rejection was nice. Just couldn't get it back. That's 670 territory. That was the same trade I took. So we were looking at the same idea. So nice little bounce off that daily open. On that note, guys, I will be done for the day as well. Okay, 3 trades today. We'll be done for the day. Okay. Done for the day. Out of dry powder was a good day though. Green. Good. One more trade. Good, guys. So by now you should have a good idea of how you did. So my sweet spot that works for me is 3 to 5. All right. So 3 to 5. Okay. My sweet spot is 3 to 5. 3 to 5 trades. Okay. 3 to 5 shots between 9:30 and 11:30. That's pretty much it. Everything outside of this, if I do decide to trade, lotto, smaller size, and maybe just to see what we can take advantage of. That's pretty much it. But this is a sweet spot. The first 2 hours is a sweet spot. Gap fill will be impressive. Gap fill will be very impressive. We are in the jaws of the gap. All right, we're in the jaws of the gap. And we can start to get some momentum above 677.09. We can make the case. Right, but first things first, we need that G50, PMH, 680, lots and lots of things ahead of us. This is one of the larger gaps we've seen this year, if not the largest gap we've seen. I'm not sure if Eliana's still in the chat, if you track the stats. Is this the biggest gap of the year? Elian, should be, could be. About a $9 gap. $9 gap down. So one of the biggest gaps. If not the biggest. That would be impressive. If we fill this gap, that would be impressive. That would be very impressive. Okay, that would be very, very impressive. If we have any first-time viewers on YouTube, put a 1 in the chat. First-time viewer, throw the 1s up. Returning viewers, throw the 2s up. Giveaway for today is course. Add you to the Google Classroom, you win this. The bundle, actually. The bundle is the giveaway. Okay? The bundle is the giveaway. Trump's war, if we were president, I would have never started it. So two, a lot of returning viewers. Welcome back, Brett, Cowboy, Midnight Manny. Yep, biggest gap. So confirmed. This is the biggest gap of the year, 2026. Welcome aboard, Broderick Kane, 185, 185. So we hit a wall here, right? Hit a wall. So for us to fill this gap, it would require us to do something we haven't done before. Okay. Echo. Welcome back, Echo. QQQ has a dark pool print. 6:05 a.m. MSFT for the gap fill candle. Let's take a look at MSFT. MSFT break below that level we were talking about yesterday. Okay, still holding. So MSFT, keep a close eye on MSFT on the weekly, guys. All right. I can't give you financial advice. All I can say is keep a close eye on it. Okay, keep a close eye on MSFT. Okay. Out of all the software names that are beat up, okay, so MSFT is taking the brunt of that hit as well, and probably the most fundamentally sound, one of the most fundamentally sound companies. All right, it's even the MSFT's in the Dow as well. We have another gap from May 23rd to close. Not as big. May 23rd, 672.92, 564. 83. Is this sideways action indicative of a break out in either direction? Just a slowdown, right? Slow down. We're getting a nice push. We're about to hit lunchtime. Volume's going to start dropping off. Do you trade credit spread, iron condors? No. So butterflies, condors, straddles, strangles, don't trade those live, and haven't traded those this year. Just straight up naked calls and puts for scalps. Naked calls and puts for scalps. The difference between when you say something is naked, right? It just means it's not there's nothing behind it. Right? So it's like if I'm taking SPY calls, I'm taking SPY calls, and that's it. There's nothing I'm trading behind these SPY calls and using the SPY calls to leverage a potential other idea or to leverage another trade related to SPY. So we're just trading the contracts flat out. Appreciation, depreciation of the contracts is what we take advantage of. Underline goes up, appreciates. Underline goes down, appreciates. Okay, depending on what side of the trade you're on. Underline goes up. If you're betting on the underline to go down, your contracts depreciate. If they depreciate too much, you get stopped out. And vice versa. Can you talk about IWM? IWM, let's take a look at IWM. IWM. Okay, let's take a look at IWM on the daily. So IWM's at this very interesting support here. Okay, this IWM does actually look very appealing. Okay. IWM major support. We came into these highs in December. We rejected off of it, then we finally broke. So at some point in time, this is what it looked like. It was resistance. We break the resistance. We come back to that resistance. We bounce off it at support. And now we can come back into it again. We bounce. We're starting to pump here, guys. Okay, so IWM, look out for the hammer on the daily. Hammer on the daily, 100 EMA touch. Things are starting to set up for the next day, guys. The thing with the nature is, I mean, if you want to risk it, we don't know if it's going to gap up or gap down. Okay, so there's an element of risk you have to take on. So just wait for the next day, see how it closes out. IWM does look very appealing on the daily. On the weekly, IW, we do have this doji type of candle. See if IW can get itself together and start to make some strides above 259.89 and try to flip that weekly candle to hammer. That's IWM's objective this week. If it gets a close below that 20 MA, 253.91, which we got below today, I'd be very bearish. We're seeing some buyers protecting us off those lows. Okay. All right, we're coming with those highs. Nice bounce here. So if you're going long, you're waiting for it to depreciate slightly. Signs of buyer stepping in and ride the appreciation. VIX broke below that 25. So I need level 4 on Webull to trade to sell naked calls or puts. To be honest, it's been so long since I opened up Webull. Probably since I signed up, I had a Webull account for some time. I do know you need to apply for options trading. You need to apply for options trading, and they're going to ask you if you had experience before and how much capital you're using, X, Y, Z. Yeah, so I think each level allows you certain privileges. So just look at the level that allows you to capitalize off that. Let's go to our testing chart real quick. Okay. So after 11:30, it doesn't give us a signal. So let's see, say hypothetical trade, get that break, conservative risk, target is up here. Okay. The reason why I have it like that until 11:30 is because I don't want people to trade all day. Okay, don't want people to trade all day. We are 3 subs away from 3360. Help us get there, guys. Again, let's get 100 likes. We'll do 2 giveaways. If you're just jumping in, let us know where you're joining from. We have it easy in Canada. No restrictions on accounts. Minimums or options trading. No flags or number of trades per day. Just did 95% push. Beautiful job. Beautiful job, Midnight Manny. 7%. Beautiful job, Inner Joy. Great job on taking TP. All right, so this kind of will be an orb. I like the orb until 11:30. Let's say if I take this trade, hypothetically. All right, so done trading for the day. This is what it would look like. So conservative risk. And the numbers turn off as well here, guys. right? So I do that intentionally because I don't want people to trade over and over and over and over and over again. All right, I already gave that signal here. Puts. So this is just to see how the orb performs after 11:30. Okay. The ideal entry for this, of course, is this bounce. We're at that prior day close. And from the boot camp, awesome. Boot camp students, make sure, some of you left some great reviews. I do appreciate the reviews. Make sure to leave reviews if you haven't already, guys. All right. You have access to the recording, so send me a message if you don't have access to it yet. Check your emails. I already sent you the link to the Google Classroom. Okay. I sent you the link to the Google Classroom. Show you how it looks. So that's the one area you can access all the resources. So instead of me sending you a bunch of links, boom. Okay. Here. Okay, the replay is here. Broker and tools. So from now on, all the bootcamp class students, okay, each cohort will be put in a class. So today, I'm going to give away access to the bootcamp replay. All right. That's what the giveaway is for. Once we get to 100 likes. Okay. That is what the giveaway is for. Okay, first shift highs are all the way up there. Everything is pushing to the upside. Index is pushing. Waves waving. And the bulls refuse to quit. Bulls refuse to quit. 393% on the calls today. Beautiful job, Brad. Wow. That might be the biggest percentage in chat so far. So congratulations. Congrats. We're getting sucked back into the gap where the gap the way is higher today. Stopped out on my QQQ Lotto, 33 cents, 167, 190s. You did catch that earlier in first shift. Tremendous job. Tremendous job. Okay, that's a quick $33 flip to 190. Okay. That was part of his plan. Okay, he talked about it early. I believe it was when we reclaimed those pre-market lows. %60 spy calls, turbos on absolute tear. Webull will let you buy contracts. Level 3 permission. The keyword is buy, which is normally what they are doing. Okay. So level 3. The person asked that question. So level 3, you need to add level 3 privileges. My good trades were canceled. Cancel my bad trades. Still down 200. Okay. Very good. Okay. Very good. You're tremendous at coming back, right? You're tremendous at making the comeback, Firefly. So maybe just giving that 5-minute orb. I know it's your bread and butter. Maybe just putting a couple of parameters around it. Right? But if it's your bread and butter and it's defined risk, right? I can't tell you not to take it. But just giving a few tweaks can maybe help the entry. Just one went for a bounce run, 200 EMA. Also line up with the 1 hour, 200 EMA. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Power of zeros. Okay. Make sure to like the video, guys. Let's get the likes up. We're not going to go all day today. I do feel a little under the weather, so I'm going to try to get some rest. Try to recover as quickly as possible. Try to recover as quickly as possible. So 8 likes away. Okay, President is speaking.
What's going on? They were sort of leaving everything alone. All of a sudden they get...
President is speaking. Let's take a listen.
Which shows you the level of evil that we're dealing with. They'll hit people that were actually at least somewhat friendly.
Thumbs up if the audio is good on all ends.
Also hitting only civilian places, hotels, and apartment buildings, and we're hitting them where it is much more appropriate. We're hitting them very hard. And the big scale hitting goes now. They no longer have air protection.
Let's take a listen.
They no longer have any detection facilities at all left, and so they're gonna be in for a lot of hurt. These are bad people. These are people that killed. I guess it's 35,000. It's coming out 35,000 over the last 3 weeks. Protesters, 35,000 violently killed. So these are bad people, and the leader of the pack is gone. And as you know, 49 people were taken out in the first hit, and I guess there was another hit today on the new leadership, and it looks like that was pretty substantial also. So they're getting hit very hard, and we'll see what happens. A lot of people are coming forward. A lot of the people you would least suspect want to quit. They want to have immunity. They're asking for immunity, and probably at some point they'll be dropping, as you would say, laying down their guns. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, we're just continuing to go forward. Our military is the #1 in the world by far, and we are, everything's big in my book. Venezuela was big, this is big, the original hit, Midnight Hammer, was big, everything you view is big, but it's not considered very big by some standards, by some of our standards. We have a military like no other military that's ever been built.
What's the worst case scenario that you have planned for in Iran?
Well, I don't know if there's a worst case. We have them very much beaten militarily from the military standpoint. They're still lobbing some missiles. At some point, they won't even be able to do that because we're hitting all of their carriers. We're hitting all of their missile stock. You know, they built up all these missiles over the last few years. They had a lot of them. They've shot a lot of them, and we're knocking out a lot. I guess the worst case would be we do this, and then somebody takes over who's as bad as the previous person, right? That could happen. We don't want that to happen. That would probably be the worst. You go through this, and then in 5 years you realize you put somebody in who was no better. So we'd like to see somebody in there that's going to bring it back for the people. And we'll see what happens with the people. You know, they have their chance, and we've said don't do it yet. If you're going to go out and protest, don't do it yet. It's very dangerous out there.
Okay, we continue to grind higher, slowly, slow grind higher. We'll continue to listen here. Make sure to like the video, guys. Do you have a link to the Discord? New here? I'll drop the link in the Discord. We'll talk about the promo. It is March, so on March, 20% off the first 15 spots, 20% off the trial. So use the code. Let me drop you the code. Here you go. Okay, use the code trial30. Okay, trial30 should get you 20% off your first month. Okay.
$100 million barrels of oil already, and a big part of that goes to them, and a big part goes to us. And it's been great. We paid for the war many times over, and we're going to be running the oil. And Venezuela is going to make more money than they ever made, and that's great for the people. The relationship has been great. It's been seamless. nobody's actually ever seen anything like it. If you look at Iraq, where very stupidly everybody was fired, the generals were fired, the military was fired, the police were fired, the fire departments were fired, and all of the government workers were fired. So after, people would call, they had no idea. And by the way, ISIS was formed. That's where ISIS came from, all of the fired people. We don't believe in that. So we'll see what happens, but first we have to finish off the military. I guess he is. Some people like him, and we haven't been thinking about too much about that. It would seem to me that somebody from within maybe would be more appropriate. I've said that. He looks like a very nice person, but it would seem to me that somebody that's there, that's currently popular, if there's such a person. But we have people like that. We have people that were more moderate. These were radical lunatics, and you know what they get? They get nothing. All they do is kill people. You've asked, not your turn. Not your turn, please.
Mr. President, I think you're going to take the heat off the Europeans to present to the Altima Putin on the allies to also help you.
What does that mean?
Well, you have to ask our Putin if he said not as part of NATO, but to be helpful to you in this.
Well, some of the European nations have been helpful and some haven't. And I'm, very surprised. Germany's been great. He's been terrific. Others have been very good, terrific. I think that the head of NATO, Mark, is fantastic. Mark Rutte. I think he's fantastic. But some of the European, like Spain, has been terrible. In fact, I told Scott to cut off all dealings with Spain. Spain, first of all, it started when every European nation, at my request, paid 5%, which they should be doing. And everybody was enthusiastic about it, Germany, everybody. And Spain didn't do it. And now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases, and that's all right. We could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it, but we don't have to. But they were unfriendly. And so I told them, we don't want to. Spain has absolutely nothing that we need other than great people. They have great people, but they don't have great leadership. And as you know, they were the only country that in NATO would not agree to go up to 5%. I don't think they would have agreed to go up to anything. They wanted to keep it at 2%, and they don't pay the 2%. So we're going to cut off all trade with Spain. We don't want anything to do with Spain. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not happy with the UK either. That island that you read about, the lease, okay, he made, for whatever reason, he made a lease of the island. Somebody came and took it away from him. And it's taken 3-4 days for us to work out where we can land there. It would have been much more convenient landing there as opposed to flying many extra hours. So we are very surprised. This is not Winston Churchill that we're dealing with.
Mr. President, what's your expectations towards Germany? What can Germany do and what should Germany do to help you with this country?
Well, I think they're doing it. I mean, they're letting us land in certain areas, and that's, we appreciate it, and they're just making it comfortable. We're not asking them to put boots on the ground or anything. I mean, we're just, they're a respected country. I have a very good relationship with the country. We have, in particular now, with this leader, with this new leader. I think he's an excellent leader. I had my differences with Angela. I said, you're hurting your country with immigration and you're hurting your country with energy. And we have a man sitting on my right that is, I think, pretty much the opposite of her on energy and the opposite on immigration. And I think he's doing very well. Well, because it happened all very quickly. We thought, and I thought maybe more so than most, I could ask Marco, but I thought we were going to have a situation where we were going to be attacked. They were getting ready to attack Israel. They were getting ready to attack others. You're seeing that right now. And a lot of those missiles that are hitting in, those are stationary. Those were aimed there for a long period of time at these other countries. So I think I was right about that. We attacked first, and if we didn't, it could have been, look, we're really decimating them. They're being decimated. And if we didn't, and by the way, we have massive amounts of ammunition. We have the high end. A lot of it was given away stupidly very stupidly for free. And I'm all for Ukraine, but they gave away a lot. As you know, when I give away ammunition, everybody pays for it. The European Union's paying for it. Then they can do what they want with it, but they are giving it, let's say, to Ukraine, and it's okay. But we gave away a lot of high-end, but we have plenty. But we have unlimited middle and upper ammunition, which is really what we're using in this war. And we have really an unlimited supply. We also have a lot of the very high-end stored in different countries throughout the world. We're literally storing it there, which is actually something that I insisted on in my first term. I rebuilt the military in my first term. The military is great. Unbelievable amount of ammunition or munitions, as they say. We give it.
Okay, we continue to just chop back and forth, still holding that top of the orb. If you're looking for that 9 EMA pullback, 677.09, and then of course that monthly downside breaker, a nice hammer in that territory. Price action combination can potentially let us push for a continued push higher, rather than buying those highs into higher highs. Get into somewhere in this territory for a nice push. So you're in position at least into these highs. If it turns into resistance, you can take some profits off. If it turns into a break, you're in great position. Okay. The key zone to look out for, of course, is here. Preferably after 12:30. If it comes before, that's fine as well, but preferably after 12:30. So it can be a session low grab as well. Make sure to like the video, guys. Make sure to like. Let's get the likes up. We're at 97 likes. Okay, we'll give it until 12:30. Around 12:30ish, 12:45, we'll look to wrap up the stream. All right, so let's hit those like targets. Subscribe if you're a first-time viewer, one in the chat. Long-time viewers, take the next steps, join our community. Use the code TRIAL30. And a lot of our new members are starting to find their stride. If you are a new member, guys, drop a quick intro. I'll go through the intros. Whether you've been trading for many years, if you're a beginner, all right, make yourself at home. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to anyone in our chat, all right? So everyone is willing to help. Reach one, teach one, iron sharpens iron type of environment, okay? So go through it. Get to know all your teammates, all right? If you haven't put an intro, feel free to do so. Go through the intros as well. If you're new, you want to put a commitment in there. You don't have to wait for a resolution to do it, all right? Something you want to put in there for you to constantly remind yourself the things you're doing this for, what your setups are, right? Very likely that you'll follow if you put it out there, right? So it's a great place for you to do that. A majority of the action takes place here, okay? Of course, with the breaking news feed, this aggregates all the stock-related news. Okay, so you don't have to go looking for news everywhere, right? It just brings the most important headlines to us. Daily game plan. This is where we opened up. We elaborate a little further in the pre-market prep stream. Daily recap. We go over every single day what took place the previous day. And our chat, of course. All right, you can see there's no one in there. Done for the day. Recovered my losses from yesterday. Beautiful job, Tujin. Yep, thank you. We'll try our best to recover. Right, no YOLO, no buy this, buy that. No, okay, everyone is looking for their setups, taking advantage of those setups, and do what they can. All right, managing risk. and taking it from there. Okay. System is very, very important. Growth ideas, didn't put any ideas this week because of volatility. Super charts, you have access to my charts, my watch list as well. This is the free feed, and of course, futures. All right. So beautiful job by Carla. Look at that, guys. Tremendous futures traders, future traders. So if you are trading those challenge accounts, share your ideas here. Ask each other questions here. See, exchange information as far as which props are better, what the rules are. In this environment, the rules are constantly changing. So I don't fully keep up to speed with all that stuff. Right? So again, there's a great area for you guys to continue to share ideas. And if this future section becomes very, very popular, right, I don't mind jumping in maybe once a week to do an Asia session stream. All right, and firing up the future stream. All right, just build the demand. Wherever the demand is, I'm willing to meet the demand. All right, especially if the demand is coming from the folks in our community, folks on our team. All right, so everything you need is there. Course is there. Shockwave 15 indicator will soon be there. All right. So lots of cool things coming up for our team. All right. Okay, so trial 30 is the code. Hey, bro, new to the channel. Welcome. Let's continue to listen here.
Well, sir, I think we're going to talk about it with you. We know that you have strong power. The Supreme Court clarified. We know you can use it, and if you need to use it to assure national and economic security, we'll do it.
Scott, do you have an opinion?
Sir, I agree. The Supreme Court reaffirmed your ability to implement an embargo, and as we've talked, from your first term, the Section 301s and the 232s have withheld more than 4,000 lawsuits, and USTR and Commerce are going to begin investigations, and we'll move forward with those.
And we've instituted a 15% tariff on everybody, as you know. And just used, I'll tell you, we had a couple of paragraphs written in that opinion that were really incredible. Justice Kavanaugh wrote a fantastic dissent, but in his dissent he said what we should do, and we knew that too. We just wanted to simplify it, and for some reason, I think, very, very foolishly, the courts decided no, but they said you can do it many other ways, and that's what we're doing. And what we've done is we've gone to a very simple, straight 15% tariff. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars in our country because of tariffs. So we've taken in all of this money, hundreds of billions of dollars, and honestly, it's made us very rich as a country. Right? So it's been doing good. When will you have the full plan implemented? We have a 5-month period, up to 5 months, where we can go at 15%. And while we're doing that, as you know, we're doing the various studies and things, and we'll be coming out with different tariffs on different countries. You want to talk about that first?
Yes, sir. By the time the 5-month period has elapsed, we'll have completed investigations under Section 301, which Secretary Bessem talked about. We know there are countries out there with deals who are very interested in keeping the deals. We need to go through and investigate all these unfair trading practices, the kinds of things you talked about, and make sure that we're protecting U.S. economic security. We know there are countries
How
out
are we going to treat Germany?
Well,
I think you should hit them very, very hard.
You knew you were right there when you said it. They have expressed an interest. Germany's been quite constructive in wanting to move forward and be helpful. The rest of you will talk to them as well. But obviously,
I will say every single country wants to make the deal they already have. In other words, a deal that we have using the other authority, they want to make the same deal. And we'd like to see, actually, we're going to adjust it somewhat upward, actually, but they all want to stay in the deal. And So we'll probably be able to do that pretty easily. What country are you from? I'm from Germany. Okay, I thought so, I could see. She likes you. We'll be talking about China, yes. I'll be going to China in a little while. Every time you meet, you talk about China. We respect China. I do. We both do, I think. But it's always a topic of conversation. We've had a very good relationship with China. We used to lose a tremendous amount of money with China. That's no longer the case. We have a very, very good relationship with China. And we have a very good relationship with Germany. All right.
We've seen countries around the world, many of whom don't usually work together, working with the United States on Iran, whether it's Saudi Arabia working with the United States, Israel, Qatar shooting down Iranian aircraft, and we've also seen European countries step up. Why are we seeing such unity around the world against Iran?
That's a great point. Look, they're just evil. It's not the politics, it's their whole.
You pay $40 a month, $40 a month on the trial, and after that, $50 a month. Okay, the Discord is $50 a month. Okay, great question. If you use the trial code 30, trial 30, you save 20% for March. 15 spots left, and then next month $50. All right.
Ideology, and nobody's really seen anything like it. And as I said, even the fact that they've attacked all of their neighbors, and the neighbors weren't attacking, they thought they'd maybe sit it out or what.
Got a nice hammer on the 9, off that 9 EMA. See if that hammer and key level can hold. In that meantime, if we're going to get that full break out, if the VIX can break down, that'd be great. Okay, so I'm done for the day here. Okay, so again, let's get 100 likes. Make sure to like the video, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. Have a blessed day, Hussein. Green on the day, beautiful job. If you guys are green, stay clean. You guys know the protocol. Tremendous job. By no means is the conditions we've been seeing the past 2 days easy, but I promise you guys this shall pass too. And when this does pass, everything you've seen, everything you experienced during this geopolitical conflict, you'll be able to better navigate an occurrence very similar to this sometime in the future. All right, you're just building up experience. You're building up your experience. So if you're up for the challenge, if you're constantly learning, at some point in time in the future, you're going to recall this time and you're going to leverage it if a time like this does reoccur. All right, so very important for you to really take diligent notes, to journal very closely. Okay, it's not going to be like this forever. All right, there's ebbs and flows geopolitically. All right, so very important that you do take notes. Is it possible to share your charts every morning? What do you mean by that? Like share it Google Meets, or? I do share the charts every single morning. So I give you my levels every morning here. The zones I'm paying attention to. Okay. I just saw your comment, Smita. So let me know what you mean by that and I can better answer. And done for the day. Beautiful bounce back, Firefly. Done for the day. If you're done for the day, put done for the day in the chat on YouTube, on Google Meets, on Discord, in the Discord chat, Mar chat. But the rule is, guys, if you put done for the day, you're giving me your word. You're giving on YouTube 114 people your word that you're done for the day. All right. So if you're really done for the day, right, put in the chat, and there's a good chance that you'll follow it because you put your word out there. On that 5 minute, and you don't take that nice idea, nice hammer, key level hold, nice bounce. If you did take that, manage accordingly. Okay, if you did take that, manage accordingly. If the VIX can start breaking down, that will give us some room to the upside. The VIX will start breaking down, start pursuing that 24. That will give us some room to the upside on SPY. Okay, let's see if we can break out of this channel, break out of this flag here. Do we have 100 likes? I want to do this giveaway. Get a check on the likes. I don't have my phone. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. Can someone check the likes on YouTube? Let me know if we have 100 likes. If we have over 100 likes, type over, and then we'll do the giveaway. All right? Let's take a listen in the meantime.
Which we agreed on in NATO, and as the President said, it's correct. Spain is the only one who's not willing to accept that, and we are trying to convince them that this is part of our common security, that we all have to comply with these numbers, and this is 3.5 for military and another 1.5 for our military infrastructure. So Spain has to comply.
They've been very, Spain has been very uncooperative, and so has UK. Now the second one is shocking, but this is not the age of Churchill. I will say the UK has been very uncooperative with that stupid island that they have, that they gave away and took a 100-year lease, having to do with perhaps indigenous people claiming the island that never even saw the island before. What's that all about? And they ruin relationships. It's a shame. It's and that country, UK, and I love that country. I love it. My mother was born there. I love it.
See if you can hold above that flag. Continued break. Some momentum behind that would be great.
Born there, so there are places that you sort of automatically very feel warmly about, but the UK, what they're doing with energy and what they're doing with immigration is horrible. You have the North Sea. Somebody said yesterday, what would you do if you were the UK? Open up the North Sea. They got windmills all over the place that are ruining the country, ruining the landscapes, ruining the beautiful fields. Open up the North Sea. It's one of the greatest, think of it, they buy their energy from Norway, which gets the energy, the oil from the...
You took that bounce, Fido. If you did, tremendous. That's probably the best setup with this ugly action. Whenever you see that nice parabolic push, somewhat of a parabolic push, you have to wait for that kind of pull in. Of course, it's midday. Hammer plus key level. Got that hammer, key level. Okay, we hold inside the jaws of that buy block. Starting to go, and now that flag is starting to go. Right, so this is the sign. This hammer right there was the key. Hammer is the key.
Where in the UK, you have a terrible mayor of London, terrible, he's an incompetent guy. But you have Sharia courts. You don't have Sharia courts. You don't want Sharia courts. You have Sharia courts adjudicating law. So it's very simple. Immigration, very importantly, immigration and energy. And you bring it back. Otherwise, you're not going to bring it back. Okay. One more. Go ahead. Yes, please. Yeah.
Oh, 102 likes. Okay. I thought it was $102.
So we, as I said, in Germany,
Thanks for the update.
last
All right, giveaway time, guys. Giveaway, giveaway, giveaway. So the president is talking. So again, look out for those keywords. Let's pivot to the giveaway. Last idea. Okay, this is the last idea. So our members do have access to another chart. Okay, so rather than just tell you to buy and sell, I want you to do your due diligence, see the key level, see the hammer, and take it from there. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, you get that nice buy block. We're coming into the waves. We pull back, get that hammer and that key level for that continued expansion. Okay, so if you start getting into the habit of identifying those opportunities, all right, you can put yourself in position to be able to fish. All right, that's the whole point. I said it a few weeks back. The goal is to have the most amount of capable traders in our community so we can help each other even further. All right, that doesn't mean coming into it you'd have to be an expert, but when you do come in, there's going to be resources, there's going to be tools, there's going to be other traders in there to help you along your journey so you can be an independent, confident market participant, whatever style you trade. That's the whole goal, guys. That's the whole goal. All right, so giveaway time. We're at 102 likes. Names in the chat. Okay. Let's get the name of wheels going. That's gone. That last, don't chase that, guys. If you're in, you're in. If you're not, it's gone. The train has left the station. If you try to jump in, you're going to land on the tracks. Wait until it pauses and takes more passengers. SPX. We got SPX. We got Beck. We got Poppy. We got Poppy. We got Suda. We got Donovan. We got Prasu. We got Manny. Is that a name? Manny? Okay, Manny. Or Manny. All right, keep putting your names in. Keep putting your names in. We'll give it until 12:30. We'll give it until 12:30. Keep putting your names in the chat to be able to win. To be able to win. We got Bob's. We got Brian. We got Bella. F. We got Omar or Omar. Andre. Any strikers want to jump in? Let me know. Strikers want to jump in? Let me know. Okay, until 12:30. Put your names in. Put your names in until 12:30, then we'll do the giveaway then. Tyler C. Move this to the side. And then we'll continue to pay attention here. Okay, nice little break there. Break of that flag. No, not there. Gabriel's not a ticker. Gabriel. We got Sam. MCQ. Okay. Oh, SMC Queen. Okay. We got Czar. We got Czar. We got Robert. 2 minutes. So far, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 people. So you have You have a 1 in 9 chance of winning. Okay, 1 in 9 chance of winning. We'll do 2 giveaways. And see. Piper. 20. If you are just jumping in, I will explain the rules of the giveaway. There aren't too many rules outside of just putting your name in the chat. That's how you're eligible. And sending me a DM in Discord, the free tier Discord. I'll explain what the giveaway is for. For those of you just jumping in, it is for the boot camp that we recorded this week. And of course, access to the course bundle. We got John M. And for those of you who didn't win yesterday, okay, in the chat, let me know if you got your access, so people know that I do actually give you the boot camps, and it's not some engagement farming. Okay, you actually will win. All you need to do is send me a DM. It's not to engagement farm. We'll give it a couple minutes. So last name I got is Maurice. I got everyone above Maurice. Okay, Turbo, got you, Turbo. Okay, Smita, got you. If I am pronouncing your name wrong, guys, and if you have a nickname you want me to call you by, or if you can give me the proper pronunciation, that was always appreciated. Okay, I don't want to pronounce names wrong. I'm trying my best. Okay. We have an awesome, diverse community from people from all over the place, okay? And we welcome that. I love the diversity. That's what makes us strong. All right, let's see if we can crack 3,670 subs. Okay, we got 1. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? So that last push, that last breakout was for $1 and some change. Okay, so more than enough room to take profit. If you wanted to go all the way to space, play the gap fill, that's a different story. If you're just capitalizing on what's there, you walk away with some cash in your pocket. Okay. Tidy. Okay, we got Tidy. Got you. If you are done, make sure to answer the poll question. Okay. About 57% of our team is green today. Okay, good, good, good. If you haven't already, make sure to like. Let's try to get as many likes as possible. One of these days, we'll crack 200 likes. I know we can do it. We will crack 200 likes one of these days. All right, we'll do a big giveaway for that as well. All right, so let's do the giveaway here. unless we have any new contestants jumping in. All right, got everyone's name. These are all the contestants. We're going to do two giveaways. 2 giveaways. We hit 50, we hit 100. If we have 150, we'll do a third one, but it looks like our backs are against the wall as far as time is concerned. I'm not looking to go all day today. Looking to wrap up here shortly. Okay, so first winner. Any last entries before I spin? What a dump there. Last entries. Okay, going once. Okay, Brad, you have to put your names in, guys. I know there's a delay on YouTube, so I got to give it a second. Brad, okay, I don't got you in there yet, Brad. Okay, so whoever said I want in, I need a name. Okay, G. Okay, there is a delay on YouTube. Look at that dump, guys. We are dumping. Double top. Leads to a flop. Lucky. Wouldn't it be something if Lucky wins? We'll see how lucky is. We can do some side bets, all right? So side bets meaning if you call out a person who's going to win, pick a name that's going to win, you can win too. We got Jess. I'm going to go with Lucky. I think Lucky's going to win. We got John Q. Great movie, by the way. Jess. Lorraine. We got Broad. All right. So if we get more likes, it increases your chance of winning because there's more giveaways. So out of all these names, 2 people are going to win. Anyone else? Spy continues to dump here. Okay, nice little dump. Comes into those highs. Breaks. And looking to take this break above it. Gets trapped. I mean, there was no real break, so just a rejection. We're back at that. See if we can come into this territory here. That daily open. Okay, we got Maurice. Someone saying Maurice is going to win. KK. All right. Going once. Going twice. Okay, first giveaway we'll do now, and the second giveaway we'll do 12:45. Okay, first winner. I say Lucky will win. That's my pick. Oh, Jess. Congrats, Jess. A code word for today. Code word for today is noise. Code word for today is noise. DM me your email. Okay, don't send me your email in the YouTube chat. Okay, that's public facing, 100 plus people. All right, so I'll send you the link to join our free tier Discord. Either send me your email and your name. Code word is noise. Code word is noise. Your name, the code word, and your email, and I'll add you to the Google Classroom. Okay. So let me just send the email here. And we got one more giveaway as well. We're going to do one more giveaway here in just a minute. Give me a second. Okay. One more giveaway. Just give me a second here. Pull up the email. Pull up the email. Okay. Again, no strings attached. Doesn't require any payment information. It's just as simple as you send me the email and you got it. Okay. Code word, noise, your name, email. First winner. All right. Second winner. Anyone want to jump in? Okay. Of course, you can't jump in twice. All right. So I have everyone's name so far. Rakesh. Rakesh. Anyone else? Going once. At a hammer key zone. That key zone's still holding. Okay, still holding. See if we can hold. That's the last line of defense. Going twice. G, I got you in here, G. Right here. Okay, second winner is Czar. Congrats, Czar. DM me in the free Discord and WAP as well. Either one. All right. Either one. Okay, so Jess and Czar. So I'm waiting for those DMs. Preferably by today, within 24 hours. I'll be by the end of the day, I should say. All right. Code word noise. So your name, code word noise, and email. All right, and I'll get you added to the Google Classroom. So you have access to this bundle here. This one. The course bundle with the latest bootcamp. Okay? So make sure to send me that DM. All right, so we'll look to wrap up here, guys. See what the market is doing. All right. So if I were still in this hypothetical trade, all right, my risk is here. We'll get very close to drawdown. I'm very close to getting stopped out. No stop out. But look how much time has passed. Didn't hit target yet. A lot of time has passed. This type of trading is great for futures because you don't have that theta. All right. If you want to do another giveaway before 1 o'clock, we need to crack 150 likes. It's very doable. We already had 1,000 plus people stop by. Okay, so it's within our reach. Okay, it's within our reach. That'll be our next giveaway. Okay. That'll be our next giveaway. Okay, give me 1 second, guys.
Is one of the best ones. You know, great coming on TV talking about their book. I think you're going to have sellers now, people taking the redemptions, but I think longer term, a Blackstone is a great way to play the alpha in the market because they are exposed to other areas.
Okay. Now in this area, guys, between that 670, 601, and these highs up here, we're just chopping around. All right. So textbook midday action. So in this case, what's the biggest danger? Traders who made money in first shift, traders who made money in second shift, giving back profits in less than ideal conditions. Are there trade setups in this territory? Sure is, but it requires more patience and it requires you just set alerts and walking away, because if you start trying to trade things a little early, you get caught up in one of these areas where the price is slow, you can get chopped up on both the time front and of course your setup not working in your favor. So there's one way to win, 2 ways to lose. All right. One way to win, 2 ways to lose. Tim Dan. So if I'm going to do one more giveaway, guys, 150 is the requirement. All right. Miso. 150 likes. How we doing, strikers? This zone continues to hold. Get rest. Good care, absolutely. Thank you, Elion. Let's see how these next 5 minute candles play out. Could be balancing, breaking structure to the winners. Looks like indecision. Not really trusting any moves. Yeah, very, very tricky. Tricky situation, tricky environment. But what we do know is the 5 minute trend is still intact. The waves are still waving. This key zone continues to hold. It bounced off of it once. A hammer once again. Bounced off it again. Right, so we're basically range bound in this territory. Okay, basically range bound. Question is, do we have enough fuel off of this bounce, off of this key level, to break above those highs? $1 million question. So in this case, you want to be in the position prior to getting into there. Okay, the only real way to play price pushing into resistance without knowing if it's going to break is be in before approach resistance, or get in after it breaks resistance. Clear break. Okay. Okay, last 15 minutes of the show, guys. Last 15 minutes for the strikers, guys. I'll leave the charts going. I'll leave the charts on. The commentary will be done. I'll leave the charts on. From time to time, I'll stop by. I'll adjust it. Not looking to take any more trades, but you'll have the continuous stream until close. Okay, so I'll leave those charts on. Gotcha, Jess. So if you guys want to check out the Discord, guys, the free trial, the trial 30 code is there. Right, I can't open up the Discord for free. We're just too many people will jump in, and it's 1 or 2 apples spoil it for the bunch. Okay, because people start jumping in, start spamming. I already tried free. I already tried opening up for free trial. So it's actually to protect the community, right? All right, so $40, give it a spin. You like it, you stay. If it's not what you're looking for, no harm, no foul. Very, very minimal risk. Think of it like a trade, right? 0 DTEs or 1 DTE. Stop loss $40. All right. Okay, let's see. 117, we can do it. We're at 117 likes. 13 minutes. Let's see if we can get to 150. It's doable, guys. Very, very doable. All right. Give me 1 second. Take a listen to CN in the meantime.
And accessories, so you can work well and live well. And right now, you can save 20% site-wide at Very.com.
Unsettled market, but want to show you the Dow intraday because we are off of the very worst levels down by about 1,200 earlier. So we've cut them in half as we try and work our way and get a little more constructive on these markets as we watch all of the events happening in and around Iran, that region, and certainly over in Asia from a market perspective where you've had big sell-offs overnight. I teased the fact that there's a firm out today, CG Capital Markets, quote, our highest overweight conviction remains emerging markets, where the narrative for another super cycle could be the ongoing diversification away from U.S. trade uncertainty. You can obviously think of other uncertainties, too. What do you think about that call?
I think it's a reaction to the significant rally that we're seeing in the U.S. dollar, where a lot of the EM and developed international non-U.S. markets that have performed really well so far year to date, South Korea obviously being one of the best performing, saw overnight some selling pressure. You had somewhat of a little bit of a lack of liquidity that exacerbated that. I think you want to take advantage of this sell-off. I think you want to give consideration to increasing the exposure there. I think you want to think about oil and think about who is an oil exporter. That takes you to Brazil, the EWZ. If you could show that chart while I'm speaking too. You could also look at Mexico, EWW. That gives you exposure there as well. And back to EIS, which I announced yesterday I purchased, and I believe that is a secular long-term holding because of the exposure you get to technology and to banks and to healthcare.
Okay, back. Key level, key zone, and the hammer continues to provide an opportunity. Again, just requires that patience. You can see on the 5 strikers, comes back into it, bounces. Even if you're not taking it, I want you to take notes because that's what you want to see in a pullback, all right? You want to see those pullbacks and let that candle close out, scalp it at the top. If it has more room into those highs, you can ride it out. If it starts to fade, all right, see where the VIX is, see where some of the other names are, lock out, right? So that's how you want to approach it. It's just basically been range bound. Okay, range bound. Comes into here, bounces, comes into there, rejects. Bounce, reject, bounce, reject, bounce, reject. Okay, 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes left. Would you short here? It is resistance. If I were to short here, I don't want the VIX to hold above 24 and then take it from resistance to support or some levels there. If I did short there, I just have to know where my risk is. My risk is, hey, you know what? A breakout. If I'm okay with that, if the VIX can do what I want to see, then I'll take a short there. Preferably get that hole below 678.02. Starts to work in my favor. Take it back into these lows. Take it back into those lows. So the one way this gets invalidated if it turns into a breakout. Right. So yeah, it is resistance. So I mean, it is shortable there. If it lines up with the things you look for. Right, but you have to know where your exit is if it doesn't work in your favor. As long as once you accept that, once you accept the downside of it, you can be there for the upside. Okay, once you accept the downside, you can be there for the upside. Looks like most of our team is done. Absolutely, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Same as usual. Last 8 minutes of the show. Any questions, let me know. I'll leave the screens running, of course, for our private members. There will be no commentary. I'm going to have me some soup. Wife is making some soup, and then we'll look to recover as quickly as possible and bounce back. All right. I was holding some QQQ 320, 50 lotto calls, bought at 05. Finally starting to wake up. May take some leaps. That's the 320, 320. What day is it today? Okay, so March 20th. Those are the what strikes are those, Brad? 320 strikes. What strikes? What's the strike on those contracts? And we never know what's in store tomorrow, guys. We can gap up, we can gap down. That daily candle does look hammer-ish. Off that 100 EMA reclaim, that'd be great. We're at support on the daily. So a lot of interesting things taking place. A nice rejection there off that level. Again, resistance being resistance, support being support. Until proven otherwise, that's the setup to take. All right. So make sure to tune in tomorrow, guys. Turn your notifications on. Make sure to subscribe. If you want to join us for the pre-market prep stream, 9 a.m. We covered most of the things that are going on today. We laid out the scenarios. It was pretty straightforward. All right, we need to do that because we need to lay out the scenarios on both sides. All right, so we're not coming into the day overly bullish, overly bearish. We can care less, but we're not careless. Okay, that's the motto. Meaning, whichever way it goes, we have no say. As long as it goes, we'll try to line ourselves up with whichever way it goes. All right, as long as it's going. That's just for fun, 50 cents, just for fun, absolutely. Biotech, okay. No harm in some fun, some leaps. All right, so who was it in the chat that said puts in that territory? Again, it's resistance. If it makes sense, define your risk, pull the trigger. At some point, you got to pull the trigger. Thank you, Thesis. Okay, at some point, you got to pull the trigger. Absolutely, we're gonna have to get some of that merch. We care less, but we can care, but we're not careless. On the 15, bullish flag. Let's take a look at it. Let's do a little bit of zooming out. Jump over to the 15 game plan chart. Don't really see the flag, to be honest, on the 15. On SPY, maybe you can make the argument for the flag already breaking on the 15, right? This one right here, because that translates to this on the lower time frame, right? Translates to this on the lower time frame, and that initial break, right? So remember, with the flags, okay, with the flags, we want that initial push. Okay, initial push. And then we want that stall and a push. So when these lower time frame flags, what they translate to, from that standpoint, you are right, seek wisdom. What it looks like is this. Lower time frame flag translated to higher time frame, okay? Like 2 time frames up, looks like this. Most of the time. All right? Something like that. So structurally, right, on the 15 doesn't look like a flag, right? Because it's not going sideways. But when you start zooming in, so lower time frame flags translate to this kind of activity. Translate to one candle or a couple candle pause. Right? But if we're looking at say we're looking at on the 1 or the 5, will look like this. On the 15 will look like this. Same thing is true. Anything above the 15, if we're looking at an hour or the 4 hour, okay? A 15-minute flag like this will look like something like this on the 4 hour. That makes sense. All right, so that's what you're possibly seeing. Okay. If we can hold above here, we can hold above that zone that's up for grabs, we can start to pushing this to this territory. So the question becomes, can we hold the top end of that test zone, 677, 658 territory? But right now, in the lower time frame, you can see the structure: brick wall, trampoline, brick wall, trampoline, brick wall, trampoline. So it probably translates to a break of this brick wall trampoline on the 15. So this would be the initial leg, delay, rectangle pattern, side to side, and you're looking for that markup. Okay, so chop up, mark up, chop, 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 mark down. Right, if you're waiting for those setups, you're existing on the outside, on the outskirts. So you're looking for break, holds, continuation. If you think this is going to continue to chop, you're treating this as resistance, you're treating this as support. Until proven otherwise. UPO. Absolutely thesis. You're welcome. Okay. So it just depends on what time frame you're looking at it from. So if you're looking for that break, that means you're wanting to see this resistance turn to support, breakout. On the 15, that will verify what you're looking at. Okay, sorry. Okay, no problem. Yeah, the bot automatically takes it all caps because it categorizes caps as spam. But I do see your message structure. But it's not going to kick you out. No problem, no problem. Do you have any leap recommendations, boss? Leaps, keep a close eye on Microsoft. Okay, off that 200 EMA, that territory. Once we break, we will be rocketing. Again, if you think it's going to break, just set your alerts. Save all of your brain power for making the assessment off that break and hold. All right, message. Current polymark says long war. The polymarket prediction market remains. So the main thing with this is it's a conflict. I don't know if it's considered a war or if it's officially been declared a war. I don't think it has. The main thing is for this to really escalate, guys, is if any major U.S. asset get hit. Any major U.S. assets get hit, that's an escalation. Okay, or any keyword troops on the ground. Okay, so what seems like from my perspective, okay, I'm not some geopolitical expert, but from my perspective, if we look at the game of chess, all right, what Iran is doing, all right, is they're attacking some of the other neighboring Muslim countries that have a cordial relationship with the U.S. Okay, so they're attacking the neighboring Muslim countries that have a cordial relationship with the U.S. And then they're going to try to put the pressure on those countries to convince the U.S. to stop the attacks. Okay, so we're playing that game currently. So run the attacks on these neighboring Muslim countries. Try to block the canal. All right, that's what they're playing. And then from the pressure these countries are facing, they go to the U.S. Right, the big boy on the block. And then they say, hey, you know what? Ease up. Tell Iran to ease up. All right, so the U.S., they're going to continue the strikes. And of course, you have Israel as well. They're going to continue. Especially with this current administration, all right? This current administration, there's a war-ready administration. They're not going to back down. So now for this dynamic to escalate, one, again, from my perspective, not some geopolitical expert, war expert, is a major U.S. asset needs to get hit. We don't want to see that. A major U.S. asset gets hit, then this escalates. As long as these other assets get hit, these are just countries that have cordial relationship, working relationship with the U.S. I don't think that's going to be enough pressure for the U.S. to stop. So in the meantime, of course, unfortunately, innocent people get caught up in the middle. So that's the tragedy of all wars, right? But just from a dynamic standpoint, that's what's going on, from my assessment. So what we don't want to see is major U.S. asset get hit. Or them trying to, I don't think they have the capability, them try to launch a rocket this way. I don't think that's likely. Or aim the rocket this way. Okay, that's one. Major U.S. asset gets hit. Okay. Iran will disappear. Now, that causes a big problem because Iran has a cordial relationship with China and Russia. When I mean cordial, I mean working business relationship. Culturally they're different, religiously they're different. Everything is split. So until then, these countries, I think they're going to face the wrath of Iran, and Iran's going to face the wrath of the U.S. It's going to go back and forth. All right? But in this case, we dictate the pace. And the last thing we want to see, major U.S. asset gets hit, and any of our troops to be deployed on the ground. That's the major escalation. And we don't want it to turn into what took place in Iraq and spend many, many years there, and it just becomes something that's just a cloud hovering over the market. Okay, so this is what's going on, is what's taking so long. This back and forth. All right, so we'll see how it plays out. We'll take it from there, guys. Hopefully you guys found value from today's stream. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. If Russia and U.S. get involved, it's over for U.S. I don't think so, guys. We are, whether you like it or not, we dictate the pace. Okay? We dictate the pace. The last person you're going to go to war with is the biggest bully on the block. And who's capable. All right? That's why we'll see what takes place. We'll see how it takes place, guys. Of course, this is just a 3D chess going on. Unfortunately, casualties involved in the middle. On both sides, innocent people. That's not fun. That's very tragic, but that's the nature of war. But we're just looking at it from the standpoint of how it's playing out and how it impacts the market. Okay? On that note, hopefully you guys found value. We'll look to shut down the stream here. All right? Hopefully you guys show up tomorrow. We have a jam-packed show tomorrow. We'll see if we can go all day. We've been going all day back to back because it's called for it. Make sure to stay clean if you're green, guys. Make sure to not to overtrade. See you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. For my Apex Strikers, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Folks on YouTube, if you're looking to join our community, the links are pinned in the chat. Go to the community tab. Take advantage. Use the trial. If you want to give it a trial, you have access to everything listed here and more. If you want to lock in for the year, $399. Okay? 12-month access, 4 months free, coaching call, and of course you have the boot camp ticket as well. All right, so everything available to you within arm's reach. The current promo is the code. I'll drop that here. Okay, that code is available for the first 15 people. Once that fills up, it's back to regular price, and we're scheduled for a price increase, guys, coming up the beginning of April. All right, it's not just a random price increase. We're going to add an indicator in there to help you trade. So along with the course, you have this indicator that helps you trade. All right, it's an indicator. Okay, it helps you, it guides you. It's not just a bulletproof way. All right, you can see the indicator. What did it tell us today? Puts, take the puts, return there. It hits that first target without going to that first stop. Right, just as something to help, and that will be available soon as well. Okay, on that note, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, and God bless each one of you.
Tired of wasting hours staring at charts, over-analyzing trades, and still ending the day with inconsistent results? You're not alone. That's exactly why the Spy Strikers Trading Mentorship Discord community was created. Here, you can trade just one ticker for 1 hour and make strides towards consistent results. Join the Spy Strikers community and get daily live trading, clear pre-market game plans with key levels and high probability buy and sell zones, over 4 hours of delay-free, ad-free live trading and training, plus high win rate trade alerts, automated technicals that simplify charts, and full access to my strategies and indicators. This isn't a signal service. It's a community focused on process over profits, giving you all the resources, guidance, and training to help you succeed. You'll also get a full watch list, 1,500 plus hours of live trading videos, courses, an educational library, ebooks, and dedicated support. Stop guessing.